everyone, and welcome to day 3 of the ImprovisAsian Festival. It's been so amazing to see some of the performances, and I hope everyone has been having fun thus far. So, like I said, there have been so many performances that were moving, that were so funny, that were insightful, and for our foreign friends, sabaw. Sabaw means soup. So if you've seen performances that you don't understand anything, you can say, sabaw, sabaw. So we're going to be introducing a group feature, very exciting. We're glad you're here with us today because this next feature is going to have 3 panels and 1 performance. So let me talk about the panels a little bit. The first panel is called No, But Have You Tried Yoga? Why Mental Health Conversations Are So Difficult for Asians and Why Improv Helps. Second panel is Why Are Indians So Into Bryan Adams? Weird stereotypes about your Indian improviser friends that might be true. And then the next panel, the last one, is Screw Approval. You don't need to be like anyone else. Your improv is enough. And this block will be ending with an improv show by the India Improv Ensemble, India's own fully homegrown team of improvisers from all over the country. So before I turn you over to our first panel, I'd like to remind everybody here, please go to the ImprovisAsian Festival website. So improvisasianfestival.com, buy some merchandise, sign up for workshops, and of course, buy a coffee for the production team that's behind this festival. Without them, this festival would be just blowing up and we don't know what's happening. Everyone is putting their hard work into this, so buy them a coffee. Let's show our appreciation. And without further ado, I'd like to turn you over to Varun from Kaivalya Plays.
Hello. Thank you, Aaron. Hi, I'm Varun from Kaivalya Plays. We are a New Delhi-based theater organization, which is kind of strange because for the past year and a half, our general manager has been in the United Kingdom. Many of our performers are in Spain. One just moved to the US. So in the times of the pandemic, it's kind of strange to say where we're from. But yeah, in our hearts, we are an Indian team. We have a 2-hour block of programming. You're going to see my face for the duration of that 2-hour block, which could suck for you, but hopefully won't, because we're going to try and break it down into showing you as much as we can about Indian improv, about what Kaivalya Plays does, about where we think there is a context to work in improv in India. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the first panel called No, But Have You Tried Yoga? In order to do this, the first thing we like to do as a team is mark our safety procedure. So I'm just going to go through that with you for just a second so you get an idea what that looks like. You can choose to follow or ignore it. We like to start with talking about your consent for anything. That means even as panelists, as someone listening to this panel, as someone who is watching today, we don't assume your consent for anything. What that means is at all times you maintain agency. If anything I say is offensive, please remember to turn me off. If you don't want to listen to me, remember, you don't have to, you're not obligated to. If you do feel uncomfortable anything, you don't owe anybody an explanation. If you feel for any reason that what you've heard makes you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to tell me why. You can simply remove yourself from the situation. This is something we apply in workshops, and this is kind of important when we work with Indian groups because there is a big tradition of doing whatever the teacher tells you to do. Whereas we have to constantly remind our participants that, first off, you don't have to. Second, you don't have to give a reason why. If you might have noticed, people tend to judge your reasons. If you say, this is my reason for not wanting to do this, people tend to ask you, well, that's not such a big deal. Well, it's not your decision. And it doesn't, if it's something that makes you feel uncomfortable, nobody else should tell you how it makes them feel. We encourage a basic level of participation. This is something really important as a theater organization. None of our work is just us talking to an audience. It's always interactive. It's always something we want to get your feedback on, which is the beauty of improv itself, that it is an interactive art form. At all times, either the audience is responding by giving suggestions or they're giving you an opinion. And we want to maintain that. For the duration of our panels, we want you to comment. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think. And we want to try and involve your input as much as possible. Again, for a session you're participating in, if you're working with us, you don't have to keep your audio or video on. You can choose to simply observe. And if seeing a lot of heads can be overwhelming, we ask you to keep the speaker view versus gallery view. For this one, it'll be mostly me, so you're going to be fine. and reach out to us in the chat and ask us. Please ask us. Okay. We like to mention our consulting drama therapist, Anshuma Chetrapal. She was supposed to be here with me today for this panel. Unfortunately, she's not doing so well today. A lot of us are getting our second dosage of the vaccine around this time. So a lot of us are having kind of bizarre reactions. In fact, I took mine yesterday. Day before yesterday. Yesterday, I slept the whole day because of the second dose. So I'm hoping those people out there who are also, I'd love to hear what it's like for other people right now in Asia. Are you guys also have you guys received your second dose of the vaccine? How much of a separation was there? I'd love to hear about all this stuff. Getting to our panel itself, I want to start by asking you guys a question. And I think Kim's going to help me with your answers. So the first question we want to ask you, but have you tried yoga? Is what is the typical response you get when you mention mental health? In India, we created this play called Unravel in 2018. Unravel is about the intersection of improvisational games, short form, and mental health. And one of the things we noticed, we play this game where we try to talk about what is it that you hear when you try to talk about mental health. Like even if you say, hey, I'm having trouble sleeping, what is a typical response you get? Feel free to start commenting and sharing whatever it is that's true for you. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to be able to include it in what we're saying. And again, I'm working under the assumption that probably it's not an easy topic to talk about. Mental health is one of those things that we'd rather not mention, right? So I just wanted to hear, if you ever said to anybody, hey, I'm having trouble sleeping, whether it's a family member or a friend, what was the response you got? And let me just key up with a few ones that we tend to get. This came up as performers, answers we get. The first one was, no, but have you tried yoga? Another one was, no, but have you tried sleeping earlier? No, but have you tried waking up earlier? Which all of that has to do with, no, but have you tried putting your phone away? No, but you should get married, or no, but you should have kids. This tends to be a very big solution to all problems in India, that you should probably get married or should have kids, especially if you're dealing with anxiety or depression. We tend to think taking on more responsibility is a way of dealing with mental health issues. No, but focus on your studies. And this is one I really believe resonates across Asia. That basically will solve all our problems by focusing on our studying, on our work, on our jobs, and we won't have time to focus on the problem itself. Another one that really makes sense in Hindi, which is "Hamare zamane mein to ye hota nahi tha," which means that this did not even exist in our time. That during the generation of our parents, there was no such thing as depression, there was no such thing as anxiety, there was no such thing as mental health issues. So it isn't something we would consider. I wanted to go through and see what's sort of coming in. So we're getting from Adam, therapy is for crazy people. Yes. We tend to equate mental health with mental illness. You look fine though. You look well. You look okay. Yes. Another way of denying mental health issues is to just simply say, hey, you don't look like you have an issue. That there seems to be a level of privilege you're carrying. You probably use the computer too much. This is I'm guessing that's probably true right now when you're in the festival, because you're probably on the computer all the time. But I'm guessing that's something that you get to hear a lot anyway. You'll just get over it if you work your way out of it. Right. Again, putting the responsibility on the person to solve the problem. I never did therapy and I'm okay. That's again from Adit. You should go to church. Thank you, Carl. Yes, that's not a bad idea, actually. Going to church is reaching out to a support network and asking for and looking for help in places. We didn't have this back then. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it looks so cool. Wala yan se panahon namin. That sounds exactly like my mom. But yeah, the idea that somehow, you have to solve this as a problem. You have to take some sort of action. And immediately there's a cause for a solution. One of the things that we love about improv, and the reason we love using improv as a tool to deal with mental health issues, is that improv does not start with a solution. It starts by listening. The very first step of improv is to listen. So when we acknowledge by saying yes, and we are first of all simply acknowledging that what the person's saying is true. We don't we don't start by trying to say, hey, look, there's a solution, or what you're talking about isn't a big deal. We start by first saying, yeah, what you're talking about is happening. And this was one of the first things that spurred me into making a production out of looking at improv and mental health. That what is it about saying yes that immediately makes you feel heard and makes you feel like someone listened, but most of all believes you. Even if the next step is me just acknowledging and saying, and this is happening, it's really acknowledging what's taking place. But if I start from a place of yes, that there is a problem, I can at least, maybe if the next step is a solution or a suggestion, it is far more effective. I've got some great ones coming in still. Just don't overthink it. Oh, yes. Oh, this is me. Don't overthink it is something I hear all the time. Thank you, Jam. You need better sleeping habits. Who hasn't heard this, right? Don't sleep with your phone. Don't keep your phone next to you. Don't just turn just draw the curtains. You're just making excuses, right? That's what we're trying to point out. That the very first thing is for somehow denying that there's an issue. And I'm kind of wondering what it's like in other Asian communities, how it is that we are kind of scared of admitting that there may be an issue, or why we tend to go in the direction of let's try and solve this rather than, hey, it's okay, it's part of life. Let me go on to a second question. Really, thank you so far for the answers. What makes it difficult to talk about your mental health? What is something that you found, oof, this is why I don't do it? Why I keep away from bringing this up as a topic? And at the same time, what makes it easy to talk about your mental health? When I asked within my team, what was it that made it difficult? Quite a few of them came back and said, there's actually not that hard for some of us. Some of us have supportive parents. Some of us have people who have made it easy to reach out. At our organization, quite a few performers who came in first through mental health. For all of 2019, we ran improv for mental health workshops. It kind of rejuvenated us. We were a performing company for improv from 2014 to 2018. We, just like anyone else, did short form shows. We didn't know what long form was. We did the same Whose Line Is It Anyway type of games at different venues. They were doing fine. We were averaging about 25 people a show, which is pretty good for comedy in New Delhi at the kind of venues we have. We were building a following. Also, we got to a point where it stopped being fun. It started becoming something we were treating as a business. And when we changed our approach, when we said, look, let's do something of value. Making people laugh, bringing entertainment is great, but we know there's more to this and what we're getting out of it. When we changed that, we attracted a whole new community of people who have stayed with us. Even throughout the pandemic, we have been working online. And I always give a lot of credit to the online improv community for not stopping the work. At a time when people are isolated at home and they can't get relief, being at home was actually the most dangerous thing for people who go through mental health issues, because they're isolated and they're either surrounded by people who aren't the best for their mental health, or they're isolated and don't have somebody to turn to. And that's something I've admired about the improv community everywhere, that improv went online quickly. In the theater community that I also operate on, I had a lot of this like, well, it's a time to research. It's a time to, plan. It's a time to do relief work, but we're not going to perform. And that's their prerogative. It's fine. But what I loved about improv was they were like, no, we're going to go back and we're going to do it online. We're going to figure out how. And I've always admired that about the improv community. But yeah, one of the things that makes it difficult for us to talk about mental health is stigma. The stigma of just bringing it up is saying you were having some type of illness. And again, where improv made a huge difference to us was that improv is a room of non-judgment. When you come into that room and you don't know anybody and you have a set of rules to follow, which is making your partner look good, not commenting on anybody else's appearance, and trying to do comedy together with people you've never done so in your life before, you can have a massive impact. What we started noticing was improv was having huge impacts. We started getting mental health professionals to send their patients to us. We didn't ask, they sent them to us because they said, we've noticed a big impact on our patients. So what was kind of interesting for us was we wanted to know why they were being sent or why they were being recommended, because we are not mental health professionals. And one thing that started standing out was that we had to keep reiterating certain things. That by coming to an improv session, by having the ability to laugh at something stupid, you come into an environment where when you make a mistake, something goes wrong, we laugh. There's no judgment. We don't look at you and say, oh, you did the game wrong. Oh, were you playing questions only? You didn't ask a question. Okay, you suck. No, that's actually the point of the point of the game. You laugh when someone isn't able to do something. And that environment of support made a dramatic difference. When someone's playing a game in improv and they screw up, they make a mistake, that is what works for the game. That can be the laugh. And that environment is very specific to improv. Removing judgment, rewarding mistakes is something we realized was working really well for us. And we realized that that's what you're not getting when you're going outside. When you talk about something, when you talk about an issue you're facing, what makes it difficult is that someone will either try to solve it for you without listening, or someone doesn't want to admit that what you're dealing with is there. Because it's so difficult to say, okay, look, if you're doing something here, it's if you're going through this, it's not good for you. It's just, I'm sure it's not true. It's like when you have friends, right? And you tell them you're fat, and they're like, no, you're not fat. No, you're just a little big bone. You are, you look great. It's like, no, I'm fat. I'm okay with it. I don't have an issue. What's weird is when you pretend I'm not. So the thing about improv is that the idea of acknowledging what actually is there and not judging what's being acknowledged has this dramatic impact on people. And we were very surprised by this. And again, when it comes to the Asian community at large, I'm always kind of curious as to what the experience is in other countries. What is it like in the Philippines when you try and talk to your parents about mental health issues? What are things that are triggering mental health issues for you? In India, the whole second wave was dramatic. From May to the end of June, we went through a period like I think quite a few have never had. There's nobody I know who hasn't lost someone. We lost a team member during that time. And it was such a state that we didn't even know how to react anymore. And again, it was a point in time where being able to talk about that sometimes wasn't what we were looking for. But getting into a room with somebody and trying to find a new identity through gameplay, trying to reset, and even playing a game where you don't have to say words, but you can speak gibberish, where you don't have to make sense anymore, suddenly became this huge amount of relief. One of the things also, and again, thank you for the comments, please keep them coming. One thing that Jenica mentions, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, is that the other person would feel uncomfortable hearing my problem. And that's great. That's another thing that we look at. I think that may be global, maybe not just Asian, but yeah, that we don't want to make other people the burden of our problems. We have a saying, I don't know if it's everywhere, but in India we say, sharing your happiness doubles it and sharing your sorrows halves them. So if you share something that makes you sad, you make it half of how big it was. And if you share your happiness, it gets double of what it was. And that's kind of the effect of improv again. When you get in a room with people and you laugh together, isn't that just, like the best feeling? And if you can make someone laugh based on anything, doesn't that feel so rewarding? And even if it doesn't, just getting something out into a room can have such a big effect. One of the answers I got, it's hard for me to talk about mental health since it's not a valid reason, especially in a corporate setting. Yeah, asking for a mental health day off is one of the weirdest things we would ever have to do. In the last week of August, Kaivalya Place has been approached to do multiple corporate workshops for October for mental health. One of the biggest companies in the world just came up to us and asked us to do mental health workshops. A big challenge for us remained, how do we talk about mental health without using the word mental health? A lot of people said they were put off by that word, that they didn't want to use the word mental health. They preferred using wellness because that sounds a lot more like yoga or something else. And we kept coming to this point of saying, no, we're going to talk about mental health. We're going to use that phrase. And what we are seeing is a shift, that people are destigmatizing the conversation more and more, that you can go to your employer and say, I need a mental health day off. And that's okay. It's okay to ask for that. But we don't feel it's okay to ask for that, right? It's like an admission of weakness still. There's a stigma of being a baby. You're weak. You're over dramatic. Thank you, Yuma and Yuma. Yeah, that I'm not able to handle what I'm doing. And I think this idea of strength is also a very big idea in Asia. The idea of the patriarch is very strong. You have to be a strong person. You have to be able to handle your problems. Admitting that you're having a tough time coping is weakness. I hear you. People think that I'm just asking for attention or I'm getting on the bandwagon. Yeah, right. Like if we have a famous actress in India called Deepika Padukone, she spoke about her struggle with depression. And all of a sudden, for that whole month, it became really fashionable to talk about depression. Like I also have depression. Like, and I'm glad people are talking about it, but maybe you feeling sad about something you can't buy isn't depression. But I'm not going to deny it as long as you are talking about the topic. But yeah, anything that helps us get the conversation out there is fine. But there are times when you're looking at it going like, that's not it. But some are not able to listen with empathy and compassion. Thank you, Jan. Man up, don't show your weakness. The feeling of being judged after sharing your vulnerability, right? There are so many things that we think that just by sharing our vulnerability or who we are will show us off as weak and be unattractive. I can tell you something from my personal experience. I have never had more people interested in me since I started being honest about what I'm going through. If you're worried about that, I've noticed that in India, it certainly has not been a problem. I don't know about your countries, although I'm sure it's important to demonstrate strength, but talking about your feelings and talking about what you're going through is not a sign of weakness. It's the ultimate sign of strength, is what I've seen. That it takes a very strong person to be able to talk about your deepest feelings and your deepest fears and what you go through. And I want you to keep that in mind. And that's what improv allows us again. You get in a room full of people who are complete strangers and you start playing games and you start doing these things which reveal who you are. Any game you play, whether it's questions only or whether you're just saying yes and to somebody, starts revealing who you are. And if we're okay doing that in improv, we can be okay doing that with our mental health. But it's a great point. Thank you for sharing that. I'm just going to finish off my presentation. Really, thank you for your attention so far, listening to me talk about myself. I just want to ask, what are some things you do for self-care? I kept improv off the list because improv is the number one thing I do for my self-care. But what I was really curious to find out over time was that things I do for my self-care are very ordinary things. And we have a podcast series coming up in October, where we've spoken to mental health practitioners and theater practitioners from all over the world. And we asked people who work in mental health, what do they do for themselves? And we got some very surprising answers because they were all just really ordinary responses, like cooking, going to the gym, exercise, sports, gardening, or reading, and video games. What are some things you do that you say, hey, I'm just going to take some time and do this for myself? For me, it's also watching a lot of movies. Like I'll sleep and watch movies and no one's allowed to talk to me. But yeah, I'm curious to know, like, what is something you do that you go, this is my time. No one's going to bother me. I love binge watching a couple of shows every now and then. It's great for me. I love cooking, really surprisingly. And I love walking out in nature. Ooh, Kim reads tarot cards. That's so cool. That's really cool because that's like a storytelling device as well. That can really tie into your improv. That's pretty amazing. There are all plethoras of activities. Sometimes improv is like the biggest outlet, especially when you have anxiety with social groups, because improv is not done alone. Improv is done with a group of people. And we love that about improv, that we get into it and we have other people that we feel comfortable with because we have the structure, we have these rules, which is why I'm deeply against a lot of these listening circles you'll find. A lot of listening circles have no agendas, no safety practices. They say we're just going to get in a room and we're going to listen to each other. I hate it because I don't want to listen to somebody's horrible story of thinking of self-harm or mutilation unless someone warns me I'm going to hear about that story. I'm not saying that person shouldn't tell their story. I'm just saying we need someone who knows what the room is about and when I'm entering. Improv has much more defined structure. When you come into a game, you know what you're going to do. You know what this person's going to do. And if it doesn't work, we're both going to laugh. That's totally okay. It's something I really enjoy. I plays violent video games. I am trying not to judge that because that is not the image I had of I from how I know her. But at the same time, I absolutely love that is who I is. Watering my plants, reality TV shows. Yeah, that is another one where we may be very scared of sharing, but junk TV is great. I watch Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares for fun. That is my like detox exercise. It is the worst crap in the world, but I love it. Okay. Well, we're going to start winding up slowly, but I want you to keep your stuff coming because we're going to use this as we go forward. We're going to have our next session called Bryan Adams coming up. But to sum up, these are some of the main arguments that we found when we worked in improv for mental health. Yes and is not agreement. This is our argument. We don't say yes and means agreement. It only means acknowledgement. When I say yes and to you, it doesn't mean I'm agreeing with what you're saying. It means I hear you. Yes, I hear you, and I can add whatever. And the and can be something that disagrees with you. For example, I think we should go fishing. Yes, we should go fishing, and we can do that after we have learned how to fish. The important thing for us was yes and does not immediately mean you agree. Another thing we have to keep reminding people who do improv for mental health is that improv games at best are a therapeutic effect. They are a supplement, but they are not a substitute for therapy. We had multiple people come to us and say, I'm going to stop going to therapy. But please don't. Please continue to go to therapy. Improv is fun. Improv is useful, but we are not substitutes. And finally, we don't have all the answers, but we can help you come up with some good questions. If you come up to us and share what you're going through, we can help you come up with questions that you can answer. But we're not here to give you all types of answers. In fact, a lot of times we get things wrong, and a lot of times things change. For example, the person who helped us come up with the whole concept of no, but you should do yoga, she actually said that she was the person who said, look, I don't tell me what to do. She came to us like a month ago and said, my mom came to me one day and said, if you just went outside and had some fresh air, you'd feel better. And you know what? I went outside and I had some fresh air and I felt better. And we're like, but you told us, and it's okay. She's not lying. It's like one thing that's really important to remember in mental health is there's a time and place for everything, and things can change. Anything we say is always up for reevaluation. We can always look at it again and reconsider. Okay. I wrote down some challenges that we keep also, just in case if any of you ever want to start working in improv for mental health, or if you guys are interested in seeing how this plays out. These were some of the main challenges we felt when we worked in improv for mental health, which is keeping the performer safe, which is why you see an online safe space practice. Plus, we have a written code of conduct and enforcement procedure on our website now as well, and explaining improv to non-improvisers. We're going to talk a bit more about this in our screw approval panel, which is trying to explain to people that when you do improv, you're not there doing stand-up comedy. You are there to actually try and follow these structures and these games. You're trying to make your partner look good. You're trying to acknowledge and agree and move forward together. And finally, the online challenge has been explaining mental health and safety to improvisers. While there's a lot of people who like the idea and talk about it, when we get down to practical brass tacks, it can be a challenge to say, hey, we're going to do this. And it's okay. It leads to conversation. And you have to be okay with failure, which is the big thing about improv. Failure is welcome. You got to be okay with it. It's not a big deal if you fail. In fact, failure is a reward of doing improv. Things go wrong. And adapting to that is something that we love about improv, that we don't tend to get in the real world. And that idea of held space or safe space, apparently safe space is now an obsolete term. Is this that it constantly evolves, but that it is, when you're doing improv in a room with a few people, it is not the real world. The real world is outside, full of its challenges, where people are saying no to you all the time and not listening, or maybe they're offering help. But improv is a space which is utopic in that sense, and to try and maintain that, and that if mistakes take place, there are ways to deal with them. Those are a lot of the things we wanted to keep trying to bring up when we do this. All right. I hope you guys have enjoyed that so far. Please keep stuff coming. Please keep comments coming, because we're going to keep checking and looking at them. We're really also just trying to understand what it's like in the rest of Asia when people have conversations about mental health. We really want to know. We never miss a chance to talk about mental health. If you ever seen our work and anyone's ever invited us, if we even have 15 minutes, we're going to talk about mental health. We think it's fun. We enjoy it, but because there's no way we're not going to talk about it. So again, if you weren't expecting this is really what we do. We're happy. We really appreciate that you guys got to share this with us and that you listened throughout this. So I'm going to start moving on to our next panel. We still have our improvisers coming in. I have a few of them with me. Guys, who are here, would you care to turn on your cameras and say hello? So we have Raghav. We have Akul, Shivani, and I believe Siddharth is also here. Yeah, Siddharth. Siddharth's a busy man. I don't know when Siddharth is not performing. Hey, Siddharth, how you doing?
I am doing well, thanks. Thanks so much.
Okay, good. Well, you guys are here. People are going to be joining, trickling in. We also have another team joining us. You're going to see members of the India Improv Ensemble, of which these guys are 4 members of. And you're going to see the members of something called Lifeline 9999 joining us as well, who are a different team that is performing tonight and tomorrow, their final shows of a production. So what I want you guys to do, Raghav, Shivani, I'm going to ask you guys, Raghav and Shivani, can you name an object and a place? Raghav, name an object.
Bottle.
Shivani, place.
Garden.
Did you say gajar?
Garden. Bagita.
Okay, so your name is Bottle Garden. You guys can go ahead and rename yourself. That is your team. Okay, hi Ramita. Ramita is in Spain right now in Basque Country. She's the first member of Lifeline 99 to join us. Hey, so we're going to start with our Bryan Adams panel in just a second. I'm going to ask Akul, Siddharth, and Ramita. You guys are going to make a team. I want you guys to name a color, a place, and an object. So Siddharth, can I have an object?
Snow globe.
Snow globe. Ramita, can I have a color?
Purple.
And Akul, can I have a place?
Stadium.
Did you say what?
Stadium.
Stadium.
What? Same? Headphoning on.
Stadium.
Stadium.
Okay, rename yourselves with that purple snow globe.
Stadium.
Stadium.
Okay, stadium. Take it. So that's your team name. So while people are trickling in, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the panel. Okay, so this is why are Indians so into Bryan Adams? So just a quick question for those of you guys who are in the room. So you guys all know who Bryan Adams is, right? Why? Why do you know who Bryan Adams is? So Bryan Adams, go ahead.
No, it was the summer of '69 when.
Yeah.
So one of the things that people worry about, especially when we do improv with other cultures, other countries, is what are the pop culture references that we can work with? And one of the strangest things to me when I came to India was that why does everyone know Bryan Adams? Bryan Adams was big in like 92 through 94. And Summer of 69 is even older than that. And like another big thing when I came to India was Friends. And it still is. This is like 10 years after the show had ended. And people are really like, my first conversation in an office was people talking about Joey and how he doesn't share food. And I'm like, why? Why do you know this? So you guys are all aware of Friends as well, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. How come? Do you guys mind if I ask, like, how anybody can tell me, like, how did you guys hear about Friends?
It was on TV when
Yeah.
I was in 6th, 7th grade, where I don't know if it was appropriate or I even understood most of it. But they kind of also like had really good like sound effects. Like they would put when audience laughs, and then I would just kind of laugh to not feel excluded. And then I kept watching it too because it was like lighthearted and 20-25 minutes. Yeah, so it was on TV. It was at that time.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my cousins used to watch Friends during like 2002, 3, 4, and I was just like a kid. I didn't understand any of them. But then that David Schwimmer also sort of gave voice for the giraffe in Madagascar. So I was like, okay, the Madagascar guys comedy show, so I have to watch that. So it went in the reverse direction.
Sid, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just that it was a lot on TV, and what intrigued me was the character of Chandler Bing, and he was, the wittiness, the sarcasm, and I sort of fell in love with those bunch of characters because I think I was a little older at that time and just in college or something of that sort. So so in general, those times are when you sort of interact with your friends a lot and fool around and stuff like that. So I loved that this serial had come. Although I will say that I'm not sure that I've seen the whole thing. It's just that it's been there on TV since the past 10, 15 years. I think every day, some or the other channel will have one episode of Friends.
Okay, I hear you. I'm going to also now, I think Akshay is also here. Akshay, feel free to turn your camera on. Okay, so for Bryan Adams, what I thought would be fun was to try and share some pop culture references and have you guys try to guess. And then maybe this will be the warm up to the ensemble show later, but I want you guys to try and guess some of these. So for all of you guys who are in the room, whether it's Bottle Garden or Purple Snow Globe Stadium, what is this person saying? Okay.
Legendary.
Go ahead, Ramit.
Wait for it, dairy.
Yeah, legend, wait for it.
So he could be saying legendary or anything else.
Legend, wait for it.
Suit up.
Suit up. Okay. So you already have two catchphrases from this one guy. Legendary, suit up, and there's one more he's very well known for.
Wait for it. Yeah, wait for it.
Wait for it.
Awesome. Yeah.
2 words.
Bro code.
Broco.
Did you say
The
snow cone?
playbook. No,
Bro
the
code.
playbook.
The
No,
playbook.
playbook. The one I'm looking for is challenge accepted. Oh, wait, see, you know this. See, this is again what's freaky to me. So, How I Met Your Mother was a show that, and you guys know what that character's name is, right?
Arnie Stinson.
Jesus Christ.
Stinson.
There's two funny things about this. There's a stereotype about Indians in the USA that we all have seen Doogie Howser, whereas most of us have not seen Doogie Howser. We actually know Barney Stinson. And Barney says challenge accepted and suit up. But I wanted to play a quick game for those of you guys who are in the room. Okay, I want you to issue a challenge to each other one by one. Very quick warm-up game. Random challenges. Whoever says challenge is accepted, grab it and issue a new challenge. Very random challenges. Okay, think of it as a warm-up before your performance. So, for example, Raghav, I challenge you not to use objects from inside your house today in the performance.
Challenge accepted. Siddharth, I challenge you to use one hand only for all your performances.
Accepted. I do that anyway. I'm going to challenge Akul. Akul, I challenge you that at some point of time, when you're talking in the scene, you'll have your back towards the camera.
Challenge accepted. Shivani. Yeah, I challenge you to mute yourself and play heavy metals while performing like a small bit.
Challenge accepted. Ramita, I challenge you to include Hajmola in your performance today.
Challenge accepted. Varun, I challenge you to do a scene with your legs as your mouth.
Oh, challenge accepted. Beautiful. Thank you. Nice. So, by the way, guys, I'm going to be using this for the ensemble performance later. Thank you. You guys are creating the own games we're going to play. Beautifully done. I'm going to issue a final challenge. Akshay, Raheja, I challenge you to turn your video on and join us for the game. And I'm going to ask you the second question, if you're there. Akshay Raheja, who's the director of Lifeline 9999, who's in the room, but possibly going, no, I don't want to. Go ahead, Akshay. Go ahead, Akshay. You can join us.
I think my internet is really. I'm so sorry.
No worries. I'm going to ask the second question. Again, for the room this time. Let me see if I can get this to work. Next. Hang on. So the next is a geographic question. Okay. I want you to tell me, and I'm going to ask, I think Bottle Garden looks like they've traveled, so I'm not going to ask that, even though Purple Snow Globe Stadium has a team member in Spain. So Purple Snow Globe Stadium, I want you guys to tell me what city you will find this.
Oh.
KL. KL.
This is Malaysia, right?
Kuala Lumpur.
Correct.
Kuala Lumpur, yeah.
Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so an extra point if you can name what these are called.
In Tower, man.
No.
They start with a P.
Oh, okay.
It's a company.
Pentagon.
Pentagon is not the answer, but well done.
Wow. I was just, yeah, somebody said something. So
I respect people who guess. I really don't care what the guess is. Okay, this is open for Bottle Garden as well. Bottle Garden?
Petronas Towers.
Petronas, yeah.
Petronas.
Yeah.
Petronas Towers. Okay, so Petronas Towers were the biggest, tallest building in the world until 2004. For 5 points, can you name what building became the tallest building in the world in 2004? And it was not Burj Khalifa.
The thing in Toronto, the building in Toronto.
It was.
I will show it to you.
It was that. Oh my God.
I will show you what actually became the biggest building in the world.
It's the broadcasting tower in Toronto or something like that. Not the broadcasting tower.
It is in a city that starts with T, but it is not Toronto.
It's not Antigua.
Taipei?
Tokyo. There's a
Tokyo. Tokyo Tower.
It is not Tokyo.
Oh shit.
Taipei?
It is in Taipei.
Oh.
Taipei.
Oh, no.
Does anyone know the name of this building?
Taipei.
Tall building.
It is the same name as you give an introductory level course.
Beginner's Tower.
I didn't name it.
101.
Taipei 101 is the name of the building.
It's seriously called 101. Isn't that where you said like all the stuff you hate to like room 101?
Yeah, that's it. Taipei 101. This was the biggest building in the world until I believe Burj Khalifa took it over. So I have a whole game I'm planning that I'm going to throw at you, which involves tall buildings, but we'll save that for later. Moving along, I'm going to ask you the next quiz question. So now a couple of things are going to focus. So far, I haven't asked you a lot about Asia. You've only had one, but I'm going to bring the focus into Asia. But this is an album cover by a very famous band, which you don't have to guess because it's on there. So Led Zeppelin, Remaster's cover album is really famous. Led Zeppelin is a British band. But the phenomenon on the cover of the band is known as what?
Crop circles.
What are crop circles? Can anyone explain?
No, it's believed
Shivani,
to be
go
done
ahead.
by aliens kind of thing. So,
Like as in, I don't know, the like weird shapes that occur in crop fields and like people are like, oh, they came by magic, or people are cutting them. We don't really know.
That is correct. There was a belief that for the longest time, aliens were coming into random crops and making these circles and buggering off. Since then, it's considered one of the greatest hoaxes of all time. But there are those out there who still believe that crop circles really are made by aliens. And this was a phenomenon really observed throughout the 70s. And even now and then, you'll see it pop up. But yes, crop circles. So another pop culture reference that I think Indians could use in improv, interestingly enough. How many of you were aware of crop circles?
Wasn't that this Mel Gibson?
I'm not surprised. They were in the movie Signs with M. Night Shyamalan's movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Okay, so 1.2, whoever can identify. I didn't say cheating movie. Hang on. That's not it. If anyone can identify who this person is.
Joey.
Wait, hang on. 1 minute.
Just gonna.
It's always Joey. Everyone is Joey.
Okay, who's this guy?
Salman Khan. No.
And what country are they from? This is not Salman Khan, unfortunately.
This is.
Nana Patekar.
This is Nana Patekar.
Is this?
I can see why you would think that.
Is it a Kim Jong?
This is one of the Kims, yes. Specifically which Kim?
Kim Jong Il.
This is Kim Jong Il. Well done, Raghav. 1 point to you. Kim Jong Il, who is or was the premier of North Korea.
Was, no?
That's correct. Because currently, who is the
It's
current
Un.
premier?
Un. Kim Jong-un.
Jong-un. Now tell me, for 5 extra bonus points, can anyone name the movie this is from?
Austin Powers.
I'm wondering, I'm going to check the chat because I'm thinking the rest of Asia knows this movie as well as I do.
Is this the Seth Rogers wala movie? I'm not sure.
It is not, but that's a good guess. The interview. It's not that.
I was going to guess that only.
Somebody guessed Pineapple Express. Thank you. Let's cut it up. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, by the way. Somebody guessed How to Become a King. Nice. This is a movie that everyone should see. It is the most offensive movie ever made, called Team America World Police, where everything is played by puppets. And again, there will be a game in our performance. This involves Team America World Police. Team America World Police is a bunch of puppets, not superheroes, but like amazing SWAT team that goes around the world and tries to stop terrorist activities from taking place. But the problem is they're from the US and they destroy everywhere they go. So if they go to Paris, they destroy Paris, trying to save Paris. That's the only spoiler I'll give you. But it is amazing and you should watch it. And Kim Jong-il is the star of the movie. I've never seen a better performance in my life. Okay, so doing well so far. Moving on to more Asian references, I want to see if we can recognize who this guy is. Very famous, one of my heroes. Hang on one second. Here we go.
Kurosawa.
Kurosawa.
Okay, can you give me a bit more detail about who Kurosawa is?
He directed Rashomon.
Yeah.
This is a movie director from what country?
Japan. Yes.
Akira Kurosawa is from Japan. He directed Rashomon. Can you tell me the movie he directed that became a Hollywood movie that then became, sorry, not a Hollywood movie, technically, an Italian spaghetti Western that then became Sholay?
Ooh, oh.
Seven Samurais.
That is correct. Can you repeat that?
The Seven Samurais?
Seven Samurai became Magnificent Seven. Magnificent Seven became one of India's biggest hits, which is Sholay. So Akira Kurosawa is present in Indian pop culture, even if we're not aware of it. Pretty cool.
That's crazy.
So there will be a game again in our performance that could involve essentially stealing of other movies. Keep that in mind.
How long is our performance? Is my
Half an
question. Okay.
Be very, very short. Okay. Very easy question. This is an internet acronym for what
Be honest.
phrase?
Be honest.
Very good. Now tell me, what is this an acronym for?
Laughing, ha 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 ha.
Okay, this is from what country?
Thailand.
Ha, like Siddharth has been paying attention all through the festival. Yes, this is
It's my
This is
own
not-
group. That's how I know it.
the number 5 in apparently Thai is pronounced ha. So 5555 is ha 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 ha. I did not know that. I had to figure that out. I thought that was really cool. I wanted to share. But that's really cool. Okay. Now there's one thing that I've learned is really, really one thing I was shocked to learn that all Indians know about. This one pop culture thing that all Indians seem to know about. What is this?
Quidditch. It's a broomstick.
Nimbus
Harry Potter.
2000.
I need the name and the number.
Nimbus
Nimbus
2000.
2000.
This is Nimbus 2000. Why do you guys know this?
Because Harry Potter is amazing.
Okay, so the question for you guys is, why is Harry Potter such a big deal in India?
It isn't.
It is
Because
Sid knows fine means ha ha ha, but he doesn't Harry Potter.
it's because Jadoo Tona is quite a fascinating thing in India, no?
Yeah.
You think it's a magic aspect?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Harry Potter used to stream on Pogo when Pogo was like popular and things like that. So, and kids used to watch that.
Pogo is an Indian like kids channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be very popular at that point. At one point.
Wow. Okay. I was always curious because it's one of those things that, like, you know, people all across India are aware of Harry Potter. Some people are like Atira, who was from ICB. She knows it like cold. Like she can name the entire origin of characters. She knows who Remus Lupin married and when this happened and which twin does what. And like, it's beyond me. Like, how come? Why?
Also because growing up, at least around me, we read a lot more British literature than American literature. And Harry Potter was one of the biggest kind of things to blow up around that time. And it was something that parents and kids could relate to and kind of also read together and have like, it was something that like kids enjoyed and parents enjoyed like doing stuff related to it too. So it was, yeah.
Also, like, who didn't want to go to Hogwarts, right? Like, school is so sucky. Like, Hogwarts is just like, jaane ka hai.
And the thing with Harry Potter is that it's the same effect as their friends, you know. Everybody talked about it.
Yeah.
It became so talked about that you just had to like at least know about it, thoda sa, even if you didn't watch it.
Siddharth, you're not a big fan of Harry Potter.
No, I just, I get this second-hand sort of information every time. So I'm still learning.
But you also end up in these situations where you're sitting and someone will just go like, so, Dumbledore is a fox, and people will just lose their minds and they'll just go on a conversation, right? And they're like, nice, can call it.
And I'll be in an improv scene. No, we should concentrate on relationships. Yeah. So you're my dad.
We hosted an entire 6-week Harry Potter improv workshop, and it was actually full. We were surprised because we will do all these different themed workshops. We did Laban, we did Stanislavski, but when we did Harry Potter, people lost their minds. They're like, no, we're gonna do Harry Potter. And there are so many aspects to it that still I'm trying to grasp. But a lot of the questions we're trying to come up with is what are common pop culture references that Indians get? What is safe to talk about? Like Harry Potter is a very safe topic to touch upon if you're improvising with Indians. We'll have some idea. At the same time, there are some topics that we will know nothing about. Like the Game of Thrones is still contentious. People may have heard of Game of Thrones, but they may never have heard of Game of Thrones, right? But it's interesting in terms of pop culture how much Harry Potter is indelibly there, or people have heard of it, and how many times you may just sit down, be having a dumb night, sitting with your friends, and someone brings up Harry Potter, and that's it, man. You're talking all night. Okay, here's another one from Asia. So one of the most dominant cultural forces across Asia is this country.
Old Boy, is it?
Korea.
Korea.
What's the movie, sorry?
Korea is what was said.
This is a Korean movie. That is correct.
Is it The Old Boy?
This is Old Boy. That is correct. For 5 points. See, man, Siddharth knows Asia. That's what I think about Siddharth. You be like Harry Potter is this crap, but Asia, I know. This is Old Boy. Has anyone seen Old Boy?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Please
Old Boy
do.
is
Better than Harry Potter. Better than Harry Potter.
Yeah, if you love Harry Potter, you will hate Old Boy. But Old Boy is a fantastic movie. I will not give away any spoilers, but Korean cinema right now globally is huge. Yes, Siddharth.
Okay, so has anybody seen the movie Zinda? I'm just saying.
Yes, that's right. Zinda is a very toned down remake of Old Boy with Sanjay Dutt. There's a lot of Korean remakes. For example, Ek Villain is a remake of a Korean movie called I Saw the Devil. Avarapan is a remake of a movie called A Bittersweet Life, which was also on the quiz. But what's really surprising is the level of Korean cinema globally. It really dominates Asia and the world. In fact, so the Oscars before this one, it was Parasite and Bong Joon-ho, which was really deserved, I think. But at the same time, Korean music is a big deal. I know you guys can name one Korean band.
Yeah.
BTS.
BTS. And people, again, I was rehearsing with some other team members and everyone knew BTS. And I'm still like, why? Why do we know BTS? If I mention, say, some certain bands that I'm into, like Foo Fighters, you may or may not have heard of them. Yeah. But BTS, people know BTS.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, we're running out of time, but I'm really having fun with this. So I'm going to keep going. So we've touched upon Thailand, Malaysia, Korea. Did I say Thailand like the dude from Hangover? I mean Thailand. Okay, so this currency is from where, obviously?
Philippines.
Oh, he's already like 2 steps ahead of me. So this is Mexican currency called pesos. And pesos, there's a country in Asia that uses the same name, which is the Philippines.
Yeah.
So just for a bonus question, because Siddharth is too tough, this person is from that country. What is his name?
Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, and his profession is obviously painter.
He paints red gloves on his hand.
Yeah.
Right. So Manny Pacquiao is from the Philippines. Philippines use the currency pesos, which was a real surprise to me. But again, it makes sense if you look at the history of the countries. Okay, so that was too quick. We'll have more. Okay, so this is question number 11. What is the name of this character?
11.
She is from what show?
Stranger Things.
How many of you have watched Stranger Things?
The first season.
Ramita has not watched Stranger Things. That is a relief. Ramita, you are valuable. Okay? People who have not seen Stranger Things are lovely. Okay? But Stranger Things is another phenomenon that it was kind of Netflix's first real big like series hit. And it drew in this whole nostalgia wave of the 80s because it's set in the 1980s. But that girl's name is 11. She is now a huge star. Have you seen her anywhere by any chance, Ramita? Ramita, see, this is what I love you for not knowing these things. It makes it so much better. But again, notice that there are so many references pop culture wise that we can work with each other, even though they're from different countries. And if you improvise with Siddharth, who improvises with everybody, he knows everything.
Yeah, that's why I knew him.
Because of doing improv, I do know some references because people keep bringing the references of the lights flickering and things like that from Stranger Things. So I've picked up on that, although I have no idea about Stranger Things.
Okay, I have 3 minutes left. I'm going to ask you guys one final question. So this is a classic British television show which was remade in India as a TV show called Zaban Sambhal Ke.
Yeah.
Does anyone know the name of this show?
Mind Your Language.
Mind Your Language.
Yeah.
How many of you guys have seen Mind Your Language? Oh, wow. Wait, hang on. I got to see this. All of you have seen Mind Your Language. Bro, I've seen Mind Your Language. I saw this when I was a kid, when I was like in Romania. You guys have all, can you guys tell me how you guys saw this or where you saw it?
Because my granddad loved it and my dad loved it and we all used to sit and watch it.
Oh, wow. Siddharth?
So if I'm not mistaken, at one point of time, both Zaban Sambhal Ke and this were coming in. Eventually, I realized that Zaban Sambhal Ke was sort of based on this. And I started watching this as well.
I see.
But not only this, Varun, there was a time, I don't know if it was in the 90s or early 2000s, when there was a lot of British comedies that came. Are You Being Served, Allo, and all these one big, huge list of comedies that came. I don't know if this was a part of that as well. It's British, right? I think
This is one of those things that was brought to India. But there's an interesting point about that I will mention. Raghav, tell me about you. What was your experience? How did you find it?
I think there was layers. I think I stumbled upon it as a kid, but then when I really got into like linguistics in college, I watched a lot of Mind Your Language.
Oh, I see. You started watching it in college.
I actually watched it as a kid also, but I had I didn't make anything of it. But when I got older, it made a lot more sense.
And Akul?
stereotypical, isn't it? It just stereotypes the accent, which is
Stereotypes the hell out of everything. Yeah.
yeah.
So actually, so I read somewhere that minor language is very offensive to Indians. They make fun of the Indian accent, things like that. So I sort of borrowed the DVDs or something like that from some store. And this was in college, so I was watching that during college.
And what about you, Shivani?
I'm similar to Raghav. Like in childhood, it would be on whatever rerun or whatever. And then I came back to it in college being like, hey, this is quite cool, but also this is like so weird.
Did any of you ever find it like really offensive?
Like, as in, I was like, this is wrong, but it's still funny. Like
this is wrong, but it's funny. I was like, it's a little bit offensive.
Yeah.
So offensive also, it didn't sound accurate. I mean, at least I wasn't able to relate to that Indian who goes 1,000 apologies. I've not heard anybody talk like that. So.
But
I mean,
it
yeah.
was very like representative of the stereotypes of Indians in the UK. Because like, I mean, by that point, I'd been living in the UK for a long time, and I was like, this is literally what they think, and it has no connection to reality.
And for me, it was like they were mocking a mockery.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like a layered satire when I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were 3 South Asian characters. There was one Punjabi character, there was one from India, and one from Pakistan. And they all sort of spoke the same language. And that's the weirdest thing to me is I love this show. I was never offended because I actually saw people from like where I come from on TV. And that surprised the hell out of me. Like that they actually existed, because I would rather have this than no representation. But like I didn't even know to be offended. But it's true. This show is now banned in the UK. Like you're not actually able to watch it anymore because it has been deemed like stereotypical and offensive and all this. Whereas to this day, I still know a lot of Indians who will watch it and laugh their ass off. But yeah, like you every now and then you'll hear some dumbass come and try and bring a stereotype from this and say it to you, and it's like no. That's our word, bro. I can say 1,000 apologies. You cannot. Okay. Well, guys, thank you. We're at 4:00. Thanks for playing with me. We wanted to get a sense of like how much we knew about different things, different places. I'm so glad you guys could come and play. This was your warm up, by the way. So performers will be back in about half an hour to perform ensemble. You can come back earlier because the next panel is probably not going to go on for that long. So feel free to come back early. And if you want to stick around because I'd love to get your inputs for this next panel as well. So if you don't have to go, stay. It'll be nice. Okay?
Thanks for having us, Varun.
Of course. Thank you,
Thanks,
Corporate Snowball
Varun.
Stadiums and Bottle Garden. Obviously, the points don't count and they don't mean anything, but thank you for playing.
We won.
I forgot there were points.
Okay. So please do stick around if you have time. And we're going to move on to the third panel, which is called Screw Approval. So thankfully, Kim is here to help me with that as well. And she's going to pose some questions for you. Screw Approval, which is our third panel, looks at the idea of how we practiced improv, how we learned improv. So the first question for the people watching and listening is, where did you learn to teach improv? That even sounds offensive. Sorry, like, where did you learn to teach improv? That's not how I mean it. It's really a genuine question because quite a few of us have learned improv outside of our host nations or our nations of birth. So when we want to figure out, I'm trying to get a sense of where did you learn to teach improv? I'll start with my story. I learned improv, first of all, in Panama, in the Central Republic of Panama, which is a country. And I learned from a teacher there who taught us improv, and she gave me the first basic tools. So I learned in a Spanish-speaking country. And from there, I came to India, and I started teaching with her approval, with her consent. That teacher is Danielle Miles. She herself is British, but we both worked in an environment surrounded by people who mostly worked in Spanish, or understood Spanish. So there was a huge multicultural group of people who spoke English, Hindi, Espanol, and actually other languages from the region like Portuguese as well. So I says the first place she learned was Third World Improv in Manila, Philippines. So I's education started in an Asian country. That's fantastic. A lot of the people in my team probably also will say they learned from us. And what I'm trying to understand is, thank you from Varun and Kaivalya, please. So sweet. So what I'm trying to find out is when people encountered improv, like especially as teachers, where was it? A lot of us will have experiences of learning from abroad, especially from either Europe or North America. We may have had teachers from there. I mean, my first teacher was European, she was British. Consistently, when the pandemic started, I was learning from North American teachers. I learned with a lady called Lacey Alana, who learned something, she has an organization called Yes and Brain. And I learned with Alana Fishbane, who is from New York City's Magnet Theater. What I was surprised is I've had very few native teachers. In fact, I'm one of the first native teachers of India. In India, also, there was a gentleman called Adam Dow who started teaching at Improv Comedy Mumbai. If you guys know Nasir Nash from Improv Comedy Bangalore, he also learned with Adam initially back in the day. Naveen Kaushik also learned with Adam Dow back in the day in Mumbai. So a lot of us started with teachers who are not from India itself. Kim says, I'm not entirely sure if this counts, but sometimes I help people improv or role play the roles in games when I facilitate online rooms. It absolutely counts, Kim. So Kim is the reason a lot of people have learned. Aden mentions New York City classes, lots of tweaking though for Philippine audience. So different there. And that's what I'm interested in finding out about. What is it that we had to look out for when we were changing our practices? So for those of you guys watching, like I'm really curious as to like, what is it that drew you to it? And when you started teaching, you said, okay, I'm going to teach. For me, I had to teach primarily because I was the only one in my city who was who actually does improv. So that's why just as much I'm trying to figure out like where is our lessons starting from. When we say screw approval, we don't mean your approval, their approval, anyone's approval. We mean the concept itself of approval. So the next question I want to ask, what were you told was the most important thing about teaching improv? What is one of those lessons that was handed to you that said, hey, this is one of the most important things you must think about when you're teaching improv? For me, I'll leave that up for a bit so anybody who's watching can look at it and use it. So when you started learning improv from whoever it was, what was one of the most important lessons that was imparted to you, or what was something that was told that when you're going to teach improv, this is one thing you got to keep hitting? For me, when it became about teaching improv, one of the most important things I learned was to have patience. I was told to have patience, that it's not going to be one day to the other. If you're teaching an improv in a place which has never done improv, you have to be just as open-eared about listening to what the group is asking for instead of just trying to tell them what they're supposed to do. So have patience was really important to me in those initial phases as I struggled to try and get a lot of things that I needed people to think was the right way to do things or the wrong way to do things. ISIS, create a safe space, safety practices, Zen approach, everything and nothing is right. That is really cool. Thank you. That the Zen approach. Ramita, do you mind elaborating on that a bit if you want to, if you're okay with it? That's a really cool point.
Okay.
You don't have to turn your camera on. You can just talk if you want.
Thanks. Yeah. So just the idea of opposites, right? Of thinking that your way is not the only way. And the same goes for everybody else. And if you say one answer is right, the absolute opposite of it is also right. And how to like take that away from your mind that if this is right, this is wrong. Like they can both be right and both be absolutely wrong as well. So just that idea helps in as much as in doing improv, in teaching improv, it helps even more. Because when you're teaching, you can't go in with a certain idea that this is the way things are, because a lot of times if you do that, you close yourself to learning as well. Whereas when I go in and teach and I go in with this idea that everything is right and everything is wrong, I allow myself and my students to question things and to maybe change things that were already there from the beginning to create our own sort of joint learning and joint expression of improv. And that helps because the origins of where it came from and what I studied might be for a different time, might be for a different place. And right now over here in this room may not make sense. So, yeah.
That's very insightful. I'm always really, I'm very comforted by the idea that first, in order for something to be true, the exact opposite has to be equally true. Only then can it be true. That's something I've always felt as well. So, I mean, being able to apply that is so cool. I've got a few more here from as well. Kim adds, everyone's truths and styles of improv are valid and not necessarily about teaching improv, but one of my TAs did say, or they quoted, being vulnerable is courageous, but only if you establish boundaries. That's really well said, I think. Trust the process from IRVS. From Icon, listening. There's a really good insight from DD, which is, I don't think I'm teaching improv. I'm simply facilitating the learning. There is also, I think someone's quoting Chris Mead, I believe. I love the idea that to be a good teacher, you want your students to leave and think they were a good teacher. To be a great teacher, you want your students to leave and think that was a great class. And if you're really good, your students leave and think we were so awesome. I think that's another great way to look at things as well. That it's okay to make mistakes and that everything is a good offer. Yes, absolutely, CJ. SPIT learned from many other disciplines as well as outside of improv, exploring local theater history, dance, etc. That's from Happy. That's a really, really great point to make. That as any artist or any art form, you have to look beyond just your art form to learn as well. Okay. Kara says, encourage students to come from a place of joyful bravery. That is a beautiful, beautiful illusion. Yes, joyful bravery sounds wonderful. What I'm trying to also get to is that is how much of this is something that we're happening to use in our communities. What was the feeling when you applied this to your communities? Did it resonate? Didn't it resonate? We had to adapt quite a few things when we started teaching improv to Asians. And I'm using Asians like the blanket term because I'm trying to say within your own community. So when I'm teaching improv to someone from India, I had to adapt because I was taught from abroad. And I initially, like anyone else, thought, oh, hey, this is the way of doing things. And later on, I had to start adapting, going, it's not about there being a way of doing things. There's something that works and doesn't work for my community. And I'm just as curious about things that from your community or when you came in and started teaching, what you had to adapt. For anybody who's in the room, feel free to jump in as well about anything that you may have adapted from what you learned. Primarily, I learned Viola Spolin improv, which was really about listening, acknowledging, followed by making my partner look good, followed by, we work a lot with endowing the space. So we work with objects. A lot of our work is about saying something is in a space and sharing that space with someone else and making sure we agree on that. So like the first thing we talk about is where. And that's when my teaching became effective, when I started working with the concept of where. But it was interesting that when I worked with Indian friends and I said, just show me where it is without using words, this was really difficult because as Indians, we were using words as our defense mechanism. Like being able to use words is what allowed me to keep someone at a distance. But when I actually have to use the space and show and endow things, it's almost like, oof, I'm completely being bound. And I had to take that from a place of, hey, look, actually using your body to show me where things are is a freedom, which made me realize that expressing through our bodies is a huge step for Indian improvisers because we're not that used to using our bodies to express. In fact, we really try to avert gaze from the body expressing. And this was something that I really found surprising over time. I was like, really, that's so bizarre. Like we're afraid of actually showing you things with our body because you will actually end up looking at me. And this tied into the culture that we don't generally make eye contact with people if they're older. We definitely, as men, are taught not to look at women. And I think women are also taught not to necessarily like very much avert their gaze from men. So then like looking at someone perform in a space with their body was creating huge tension amongst people, which I didn't realize. But when we started touching that barrier and working with it and saying it was okay, it started opening up our improv. I says what changed, adapting to Filipino truths, commonalities, values, sense of humor, make it more relatable. there are certain things about culture that we find funny that other people might not. And that's a big part of working with other improvisers. I'll give you a short example. I was improvising with some people from Canada, like about 2-3 weeks ago. And it was a wonderful environment. Everything was fine. And then I was asked to do a scene as a priest. So I was like, okay, no issue. I've lived in Panama. I know what a Catholic priest is like. But also every alarm bell in my body is going like, don't talk about pedophilia, even though that's the first thing I would think of if I think of a Catholic priest. But I tried to play out the scene without much discomfort and without referencing this. It was a scene where the priests have turned the church into a water park. So we just made it about the water park. The very next scene, they asked me to create a place. And because from when I lived in Panama, I went to Saudi Arabia, the next place. Immediately my thought went to Saudi, and I played out the scene as somebody interviewing somebody for a job in a harem. A harem is a large collection of women who are wed to a sultan or something like that. And it was a job interview for them. And what happened was immediately the other improviser expressed discomfort, did the scene, completed the scene, but later on expressed discomfort. And later on during the discussion, it was brought up as something that we should be mindful of making other improvisers uncomfortable about. And I challenged them by asking, wait, when you asked the guy who was raised in India, who was raised as a Hindu and comes from India to play a priest, how come there was no question about discomfort? But there's a huge question of discomfort when we talk about someone from the Middle East, who neither of us are represented. So it's these situations that keep popping up where we seem to take some certain aspects as, hey, these are okay because they represent a majority, and some which, once they're specific to a culture, we're not allowed to play with. And that's when we talk about like, wait, why is that okay and why is this not okay that we're trying to hit upon? When we looked at how do we adapt it, these were some of our findings, and I'd love to hear what you would like to say. As Indian improvisers, we had to emphasize that improv is not a competition. One of the problems we have when we work as Indian improvisers is that we come from a culture that is highly competitive. For everything in life, we have one of the youngest populations in the world, and we also have the second largest population in the world. And from a very young age, it's inculcated that everything is a competition. That means grades in school. That means jobs you're applying for. That means any opportunity. And it's not wrong, it's true. If any opportunity opens up that is open for, say, 10 persons, you will have at least 1,000 people applying for that position. It is not easy in any, including art. We just finished running a selection panel where we have artists from Wales and artists from India applying. In India, 60 people applied for that panel, for that grant. And in Wales, less than 10 applied for that same grant. And we had to select 3 and 3. So in India, for everything you're competing. So when you're on stage, you're competing for the stage time. But we had to emphasize that when you're doing improv, it's not a competition. There is nothing to build down on the other person. You will not get anywhere by competing with them. You have to do everything that you can to find a way to work with them. This is something I'm sure that other Asian communities can also relate to, that improv is not stand-up comedy. We get a lot of people who come to improv hoping to use it as a training ground to become stand-up comedians. And we keep telling them it's not the same thing. We are not doing stand-up comedy. What we're trying to do is work as building scenes. We are trying to tell stories. That can be a useful tool to stand-up comedy, but we're not here in any way to try and like give you a setup and a punchline. That's really not our work, which ties into what came in later, that we are very strong about no body shaming. One of the biggest comedians in India is a guy called Kapil Sharma. He's on TV. His entire show is predicated on sexist jokes. It's about making fun of people's appearance and getting cheap laughs that way. Whereas when you come to an improv room, we're adamant that there is no talking about what someone looks like. There is no mention of physical appearance. You do not use that. This is something I found surprising that some improvisers I have learned from in clowning do use it. They use any physical appearance thing as a strength, not a weakness. But again, that is the improviser talking about themselves, not someone else. So we have to emphasize body shaming because even to this day, like me being bald is the first joke someone I don't know will make if they're in a room with me. Like the fact that you need to get your hair fixed or you need to get a haircut is a joke. So this is something that, because our culture is still very steeped in these kind of stereotypical jokes, that we keep reminding them that's not okay. Body shaming is not something, and you can aspire to a better level of comedy is how we put it. This also implies gender stereotypes. There's a lot of like, if I'm a guy, I'm going to play a guy in a scene. If she's a woman, she's going to play a woman in a scene. Whereas we cast gender blind for our performances. Rameta, who you just met, played Jorge Luis Borges, who is an Argentinian author, very male. She played him in a play, and we never addressed the fact that she's playing Borges. We didn't say she was a female or male character. In other shows, we have established that she's a female character, but she's playing Borges. But that is the simplest thing we try to do, to say, hey, there are not going to be any particular gender roles. And we try to keep playing games where gender gets swapped. And we try to do this with younger and younger minds, because this is something we have found that we need to keep addressing. One thing also, it's important, it's okay to express your context. We're missing one of our favorite improvisers from the ensemble. He'll be here at 4, which is at 4:30 Indian Standard Time. That's Asad. Asad is someone who works with so many different improvisers from around the world. And one thing that I think when we built India Improv Ensemble was that he was finally able to talk about some of the things that are his context. He can talk about Bombay. He can talk about the crime scene and underworld in Bombay. Crime is something we dealt with very much when we were at the ensemble. It was fun. There was a lot of interesting ideas you can play with. But what was surprising was that when we were talking about our context of crime and the police, some people started like telling us it was really insensitive because of BLM. And we were kind of shocked because we're like, you do know we have police who also have issues with us, right? And if we talk about the Indian police and how they behave, it really has nothing to do with North America. It has to do with India. But they made us feel very uncomfortable about expressing our own context. And that was a very strange thing to me, which is like, just because we have police in India, they don't behave the same as you. They behave very differently. And just because we both speak English, that doesn't make it okay to be told how I can express my context. So it's important to remember that while respecting the culture of other people, it's just as important to express your context. One other finding was we had to allow our audience to find us. When we decided not to body shame and not to do gender stereotypes, we also stopped catering to a lowest common denominator. We stopped getting audiences that were there for cheap laughs. We still swear now and then in shows, but we reached the point when we realized saying certain swear words in Delhi will get you a laugh no matter what. And we started saying, are we here to make them laugh because we can do that really easily, or are we here to do work that we enjoy? So over time, we realized that we were willing to sacrifice getting larger audiences and bigger paydays because we're okay with the idea of our audience finding us and what we do. And this really comes down to you making choices. What choices you make as a practice of your improv will be your values. And your values are what you want to put on stage. So screw approval, screw what any audience thinks you should be doing, screw what anybody can tell you about how funny you can be, how unfunny you need to be, and essentially do what your values represent. You don't have to have the same values as anybody else. This is still a distillation of some of the values that Kaivalya plays that we follow, but not all of them. There are some things that we know we will do regardless of how much people think it's correct or incorrect to do it, that we insist we will. Okay, those are my findings. I hope you guys are sharing yours as well about certain choices you might have made or values. I'm, again, super interested. We did, during these panels, reach out and write to people, but we also were very short on time and not able to include a lot of responses. But we are going to maintain channels open so that we can keep receiving. And we want to learn, like, what is something that you deal with in Manila and the Philippines? There's a reason we were talking about stereotypes earlier in this, because some things are stereotypes that you can operate with that aren't necessarily offensive, but can help you make choices. And we're trying to find out, like, hey, if you're in Manila, what is something that you have to deal with culturally? If you're in Japan, like, the coolest thing I saw was adult improv. I was like, dude, we would never have the guts to do something like that in India. Something that could be so openly, like, sexualized. It looks amazing. That is a value, like, we wouldn't even know how to explore in our improvisation. So, I mean, I'm super interested in learning more about how people are coming to this and what they're bringing. So I hope this was useful to people out there listening. I really wish I had found a way to do this much more organized so I could have involved more inputs from people. But like we mentioned, there's always a way to get in touch with us and take this conversation forward. And we're hoping to learn more as we go. Okay, we are just a couple of minutes away from India Improv Ensemble performing. We are still waiting for our ensemble. Like I mentioned, a lot of people have gotten their second doses for COVID, so they may be a bit slow about showing up. We have about 2 or 3 joining us in a couple of minutes. So in order to start warming up, whoever's here, Shivani, Ramita, Akul, Siddharth, Raghav, if you're here, feel free to turn on your cameras and you can warm up for a bit with the audience watching. I'll just throw some games at you while we do that. We'll be starting in about 3 minutes. But in the meantime, I'm going to just give you some warm-up games while you're in the room. Okay, first of all, just take a deep breath in. How you guys doing? Generally okay? Siddharth, how much have you performed already?
Yeah, I'm performing after this as well.
You were in Typical Heroes the first night. You were performing the ICB last night. And you're performing now, and you'll be performing again later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
What can we say? Improvisation.
Well, I'm glad. Okay, we should have a couple of people joining us in just a couple of seconds. In the meantime, I just want you guys to do some simple basic warm-ups. We're just going to pass a rhyme ball around very quickly because Raghav likes to rhyme things. So, Raghav, Halo.
Telo, Shivani, Attic, mute.
Automatic, Akul, monster.
Oh, prankster. Ramita, cushion.
Lotion. Siddharth. Glasses.
Tresses, Varun, coffee.
Teri moki. Akul. Pillow.
Oh,
Asad.
yellow. Asad. Visible.
Oh, sensible. Ramita, pulao.
Khilao. Shivani. Earphones.
What a drone. Siddharth, happy.
Clappy, Raghav, rap.
Rap. Akul, mask.
Task. Varun. Car.
Okay, I'm going to keep this. Okay, very quickly, one more warm-up game. Nice. Give us a clap. Yeah. Good. Asad, how you doing?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much.
Good. So there's quite a few people missing. Our friend Veena, who performed at ICB, she's not feeling well today. We're sending her best wishes. Varun Goyal, who is traveling. Anushka, who is not available for the performance. Bhavya, who also is caught up in exams right now. Exams in August. Everyone's exam schedule is messed up. Who am I missing?
Isha
She's
is
on her way. She's on some work stuff that she'll show up. And that's about it. And we also have Ramita with us, so it's just going to be fantastic. Ramita is one of our facilitators who works with us, so it's going to be fun. Okay, so I want you guys to now simply play one round of 3 things, and I'm going to take you through some games. Okay, so everybody, 1, 2, 3. Three things. Ramita, 3 things you like about Basque Country even now.
The food, the rain, and the food. 3 things.
3 things.
Asad.
Yeah.
3 things that shine in the night.
The stars, my soul, and my eyes.
3 things.
3 things.
Siddharth, 3 things that you like to eat when there's heavy rainfall.
Oh, samosa, chili bhaji, and chai.
3 things.
3 things.
Shivani, 3 things that you like about UK.
The accent, the TV shows, and the Guinness.
3 things.
3 things.
Things. Akul, 3 things you've hidden and don't want anyone to find.
Oh, the first one, the second one, and the third one.
3 things.
Raghav, 3 comfortable places you want to sleep on.
Bed, floor, toilet. 3 things.
3 things.
Barun, 3 things other than deodorant you sprayed on yourself.
Matti ka tel, more sweat, and just generally pens. 3 things.
3 things.
Okay, nicely done. So guys, here's the first game I want you to play. First, tell me who this famous, world famous, incredibly famous person is.
Sundar Pichai.
Pichai?
Sundar Pichai. Sundar Pichai is who exactly? Why is he so well known?
He is
Alphabet
the
CEO.
he is the founder of Google.
That is incorrect. He is not the founder of Google. But he is the CEO of Google. That is correct. So I want you guys to all take a moment. You guys will turn your camera on and off for this game. This is world's worst pitches. You guys are going to pitch something in 1 line, 1 sentence to Sundar Pichai as the next Google product. As you know, Google has Google Maps, Google Lens, Google Mithai, I don't know. But I want you guys to just pitch the next Google product to Sundar Pichai. So for now, everyone turn their camera off. Whenever you have one, you turn it on and you go for it. Okay? So I will get started. So Sundarji, I have this brand new product for you. Google Lambai, which will make you tall. Just terrible.
Mr. Pichai, thanks for having me. Google Prime Minister. It's better than voting, and you can select the right candidate. Yeah.
Sundarji, I present to you Google Gaps. Yes, when people get too close and violate your personal space, this app will create that gap for you, sir. Yeah.
I present to you the answer to Amazon. We will have Google Undies, a monthly subscription program to send you underwear.
We have something called we have something called Google Ask, when you can ask people and one person gives their opinion of every answer. It's perfect.
Sundar Pichai ji, I have the best pitch for you. Google goggles to change the color of the world with the color of your mood.
Oh.
Google questions will be the next big thing. Instead of giving you answers, Google will ask you a question. You have to come up with the answer.
So, Mr. Pichai, this is called Google culture. You know what happens when you're in an improv scene and somebody wants to misrepresent you? It'll not allow them to. You'll just change their dialogue.
Sundarji Sun. $5 billion idea. Google Topi. You put on the Google hat, and before you even search for it, it tells you what you want to search for.
Sundarji, one big idea. Google Documents, not Google Docs, Google Documents, which can create fake documents, bills, certificates for you. Your degree you can get from Google.
One great idea. Google space bar. All these people keep going to space. We make a bar and invite them there.
Mr. Pichai, the next product should be Google search to help you find something that you've lost.
Wow. Last one.
Sundarji, so this is my pitch. I present to you Google Pitch.
Okay, Shivani, go for it.
Building on the last idea of Google search, this finds you the love of your life. Google search for love.
Nice. Everybody back, please. Very good. Very good. Sundarji will be very impressed. Thank you so much. So guys, for the next game, I want to, again, still a warm-up game. I want you to tell me, what do you use this for?
Shows.
Videos. Yeah.
Speeding up delivery time.
Speeding up delivery time. Somebody said videos, right? It's also a video streaming platform. And then again, I'm curious if in the rest of Asia, they have this like soul-sucking image of capitalism that we are all actually very devoted to.
Yeah.
So I want you guys to now think of the last thing you bought on Amazon Prime. And I want you to gift this to somebody without telling them why you're gifting it. But the person receiving will have to come up with a reason for why they need this. So for example, Raghav, I bought you this this standing fan.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm not a big fan of sitting. I'm used to standing up a lot. And so I need a standing fan to support my standing. Thank you so much. Ramita, I have got you this this pair of magical earrings.
Wow. I needed them. You see, earrings make me feel so confident, but I don't like others to see them. So with these invisible magical earrings, I get all the confidence I need to feel like super earring girl.
Yeah.
Ooh. Siddharth, here, I have this hajmola for you.
Wow, this is the best thing. So right now I am on a, I'm on a diet where I have to not eat anything. So this is my only source of nutrients, vitamins, and whatever is in it. Okay, Shivani, I bought you a chocolate toothpaste.
Wow, I always procrastinate brushing my teeth, but now with the taste of chocolate, my teeth are going to be the cleanest ever. Asad, I have for you these like high strength resistant training brands.
What brands? I'm sorry.
Resistance training bands for the gym.
Yes. Considering the fact that I do not resist anything in life and I have no control whatsoever, this is going to work out so great for me. Thank you, Jivan. Akul, I got you this pair of, AA rechargeable batteries, 1300 mAh.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I had 1200 mAh. I had 1100 missing. So thank you so much for this. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Varun, take this big pile of bubble wrap I bought with complimentary vacuum cleaner.
Oh my God, dude. How did you know that this is how I deal with my anxiety? This is just the best thing anybody given me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Akul. I'll wipe my tears at the same time. Nicely done. I think that's everyone, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, this next game is for Asad, Shivani, and Ramita. Okay? So there is a, besides the very well-known band BTS from Korea, there is also another very well-known band from Korea called Kala Gulabi.
Yeah.
That is
Great
Blackpink.
music. Great music they produce.
So Blackpink is a fantastic, amazing band from Korea. What I want you guys to do, what I want is a suggestion from Siddharth for the name of their next hit song. What is the next hit song of Blackpink?
Shake your hips
Shake
to
your
my tune. Hips to my tune.
Shake your hips to my tune. Okay, Shake Your Hips to My Tune is the name of the hit song. Shivani, you are the person interviewing Blackpink, okay? Except Blackpink's two members have different names. Raghav, what is the name of the first member of Blackpink?
J.
You said J, like the letter J.
Yes.
Okay, so one of you is called J, and the other is Akul.
Ochre.
Did you say what? Poker?
Ochre without Joker without J.
Oh, bars.
Very nicely done. Okay, so what's going to happen is, Shivani, you are interviewing Blackpink about their latest hit single, Asad and Ramita and Blackpink. What happens at the same time is that you tend to misunderstand. You're all speaking the same language, but because you are a media person, you tend to misunderstand what they're talking about. So when you explain to us what they're saying, there will be some gap in translation. Ramita, Asad, you guys have fun with it. I really want to know about the song. I want to know the history. I want to know about your relationship. Okay, cool. 3, 2, 1, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are so lucky to have Pink, Black, Pink, the hit sensation band with us. Let me first come to you, Ochre. How did this band, this partnership start?
It was really quite simple. We were just walking around town, just kind of hearing each other humming, and there was just this instant connection.
An instant connection passes by in the street. And Jay, what drew you to Miss Ochre with this humming?
Yes, Joker. Always juk, genderful, Ju, G. Jan, Jens, Jai, Jijaisit, Ju, Jake, Juzik, Jit, Jer.
Okay, you wanted to make some Jewish music with her because she was beautiful. I see. Okay. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the origin of your new song, Shake Your Hips to My Tune.
Joker?
Well, you see how both of us have such beautiful hips, and how we
You
met.
have hips?
Yeah. We met each other strolling by the park, so it just felt right for it to be our next single, you know.
And what is the tune? See, I understand the shake my hips part, but which tune?
One part to Jay to answer.
Jay, maybe you can tell us a little about this tune.
Jum, 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 jum. J, 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 J.
It's a very J-focused tune, I see. What do you have against all the other letters in the alphabet?
Nothing.
Ochre, would you agree?
I would just say we don't have any problems with the other letters. There's just something extra special with the J. You know, the J factor.
It seems like there's some discrimination going on, alphabetical discrimination in this band. Where do you think your fans can find you if they want to hear your music?
Juzik, YouTube.
They should go to YouTube.
YouTube.
Okay, guys, zootube.com is where you can find Jay and Ochre from Black and Pink. But can you tell us a little bit about where this name came from and why on ZooTube rather than YouTube like everyone else?
Well, as you can see, black and pink are kind of like our colors to go to. It's kind of how we see the world, you know, black and pink, and their union would be black pink.
Okay, so you think the whole world is only black and pink, and that union is black pink. Okay, so thank you so much for your time and good luck with your very odd new single. I hope our followers will find you on ZooTube and watch your black and pink hips shaking to the tune. Thank you, thank you.
Jay, Jay,
Jay,
Jay.
Jay.
And see, nicely done. Okay, I did not know how much I would enjoy watching Asad swing his hips. I've known him for so long. Finally, this has happened. Great job, guys. Lovely, really nice. Please accept my applause. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Ochre, and thank you, Shivani. Okay, for this next game, can I have Raghav, Siddharth, and Akul, please? Okay, earlier today we talked about a very famous Filipino. Does anyone remember who we mentioned?
Manny Pacquiao.
That is right, Duterte. No, you're right, it's Manny Pacquiao. So Manny Pacquiao is not just a boxer, he's also a member of the House of Representatives, or was, no longer is. So what I want to do is I would like to see a scene with three people. Raghav, you are Manny Pacquiao for this scene because you spoke first. Except Manny Pacquiao can only speak in rhyme. Either you will rhyme 2 lines or you will rhyme what other people say. Siddharth, you are a member of parliament, okay? You are someone who handles Manny Pacquiao's political career. But you are trying to like help him get back on track with his political career. The thing is, you can only, just like our friend Asad was doing, every sentence has to have the letter P. It starts with the letter P, okay? And for an added benefit, the last word somebody else says has to be the first word of your sentence, okay? Akul, you are Manny Pacquiao's trainer, but you can only speak in questions. So you're trying to train him, but you can only speak in questions. Okay, are you guys set?
All words with P.
Yeah.
All words, okay.
Yeah, all sentences. If you want to make every word start with P, that's great too. But if you want to, but to keep it easy, all words start with the letter P. All sentences start with the letter P. Okay, Pacquiao's training. 3, 2, 1. Take it away, guys.
Panny, please, pigeon, poopy.
Can you make it a little faster? Can you make it a little faster?
Panny, boxing, parliamentarian.
Listen,
What are you
let me
saying?
take my time. Let me take my time before I bust out a rhyme.
Do you think we have so much time?
Wait, let me understand. Pont, pine, and pox. Pupil peg pair of population.
I want to
Philippines.
I want to rhyme and box. I don't have time to talk. So please let me be, or I will beat you up blue, black, and bleak.
Who told you to stop boxing, Manny?
Panny, listen to me. Panny, you need to get your career
Who's
back
Panny?
on track.
Who's Panny?
Panny, the boxer.
Panny?
It
Are
is
you
me.
insane?
It is me. I am Panny. Shut the hell up before I punch both your fanny.
Panny, calm down. Panny, please calm down. You need to get back on track in the parliament and give some speeches, Panny.
Parliament this, parliament that. Can you please cut all that crap? I want to box. I want to rap.
Yeah.
So please cut the crap.
Have you heard what Manny is saying? Oh, Penny, what have you not heard what Manny is saying? He
We will pay you, Manny. We'll pay you as much as you want, more than the $50 million you already make per your boxing match. We'll pay you.
Listen, I don't really care about the money. Wait.
Don't you know he just wants to beat people up?
My nose is a bit runny.
Funny, very funny. Funny, very, very funny. People go down the drain. What pain?
Are you insulting me? Are you insulting me? Manny, can you go back and do the uppercut?
What? No putt. No putt, no boxing. Manny, come back. We want to do some practice.
Guys, please take it easy. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. See?
Isn't that all cute? What are you saying?
See, his rhyming is getting affected. You know, we need to get him back on track. I'm going to lose my career and prestige as well if you don't go to the parliament.
Listen, when I rhyme in box, I have a rhythm. If you don't shut up, I'll sue you and send you both to prison.
Prison? He needs to go first. You can, yeah.
Can you leave? Can you leave? Can you leave? Man, can you get back?
Can you both leave and leave me at peace so that Varun can come in and call scene?
Team?
Scene?
Team.
Nice job, guys. Okay. Can I have everybody back, please? Very nice. High fives. High fives. Good work, guys. Okay. So we have just about, I think, 6 or 7 minutes left. As always, for us, we would like to end what we do with a closing ritual. So today, for ImprovisAsian Festival, we just wanted to, and if anyone who is here from ImprovisAsian, please feel free to join us as well. You can join us on audio. You don't have to join us on camera if you want. But this game is very simple. We just complete the sentence, wouldn't it be nice if? And just feel free to put anything out there in the universe that you wish were true. So, and it doesn't have to be serious or anything. It doesn't even have to be true, but it helps. But it can be as simple as, wouldn't it be nice if I could get Manila food in Delhi?
Wouldn't it be nice if I could just fly by myself so that I can reach wherever I want to for my vacation right now?
Wouldn't it be nice if, my beard could just grow in places that I want it to go on my face?
Wouldn't it be nice to have tea in the rain?
Wouldn't it be nice to have dabba service here in Spain?
Aha, rhyme.
Wouldn't it be nice if I could speak everyone's language in Asia just so I could order the food?
Wouldn't it be nice to have a magic tiffin which would make any cuisine of food that I wanted immediately?
Wouldn't it be nice if the Improvisation Fest happens every quarter or every month?
Wouldn't it be nice to go on long, beautiful treks and not get tired?
Wouldn't it be nice if Mount Everest just came back to sea level? I went there, touched the peak, and then it goes back.
Wouldn't it be nice if India was even more connected to Southeast Asia and I could just walk over to Indonesia?
Wouldn't it be nice if time stopped when I was reading a book?
Wouldn't it be nice if we all had our own Mount Rushmores?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice if chips had no fat?
Wouldn't it be nice if I could enter and live in the world of the book I'm reading?
Wouldn't it be nice if we could breathe underwater?
Hmm.
Wouldn't it be nice if all my clothes just washed themselves?
Wouldn't it be nice if my computer just did my work for me without me thinking?
Wouldn't it be nice if all the Google products we pitched were like real?
Wouldn't it be nice if Shake Your Hips to My Tune was a real song I could download?
Wouldn't it be nice if Nice Biscuit was more accepted than Parle G?
Nice.
Wouldn't it be nice if all fruit names became swear words?
Look, mango.
Wouldn't it be nice if work was a hobby and my hobby was work and I could choose to do work, whereas doing a hobby would be required?
Wouldn't it be nice if my room was self-tidying?
Wouldn't it be nice if words like read and read were spelt differently?
Wouldn't it be nice if we had a real, proper, good, well-written season for Game of Thrones, the last season?
Okay, wrapping up, 10 more seconds.
Wouldn't it be nice if we had more than 10 seconds?
Wouldn't it be nice if we changed the title of Game of Thrones to Dragon On?
Sure.
Wouldn't it be nice if Aryan came here right now and closed us?
Wouldn't it be nice?
One came true.
Wouldn't it be nice if everybody left some heart reacts, thumbs up reacts for our guest Kaivalya, please? Yeah, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much for those insightful panels. And of course, checking all the pop culture references that we all share. Very interesting to see that. So thank you so much. And to everyone that's watching right now, do not leave the stream. Stay right there because Duo Roulette's number 2 is up next on this same stream. So make sure that you stick around and catch them. Remember, guys, this festival would not be happening if it weren't for the production team doing everything behind the scenes. They're working so hard. So I'd like to invite everybody to buy them some coffee. Just go to the Improv is Asian Festival website, which is improvisasianfestival.com, and buy the prod team a coffee. So thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed this block. Turning you over to the next one.
Hello, hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Improvisation Festival. We are now doing something very, very interesting because you are going to see something very raw, something very true, and something very real. We are doing duo roulettes, ladies and gentlemen. It's improv at its weirdest, I guess, but it's improv nonetheless. And we are doing pairs of people who have never met and who have never talked to each other and who have never, well, they've seen each other, so scratch that. And we are going to be spinning two wheels to match them up, and they'll be doing scenes based off the suggestions that we can see from the comments. But before that, I would like to remind everyone to please, if you have some coffee money that you would like to give or you would like to spend on the production team handling this festival, please go to coffeeco-fee.com/improvisation and we will be eternally in your gratitude. All right, so we are now starting with our first roulette, ladies and gentlemen. This is our wheel of not fortune, but roulette. And our first improviser for this evening is Mr. Jason. Come up the stage. Oh, wow. Only 3, but it's still a wheel. Let's spin that wheel. And Jason will be improvising with Sid, who has just come in the room, straight out of Kaivalya Place, ladies and gentlemen. And the question that we asked everyone in the chat was, what's a reason to go back home? Very, very interesting, okay? And the one that I really, really put my heart into and I really, really love is sleep, shower, pool. Duo roulette, ladies and gentlemen, with Jay and with Sid.
What was that once more?
Sleep, shower, pool.
Wow, thank you.
Tim, it's my time in the shower. It's my time.
Jolly, take it easy. You know, we are the same. It can be any of our times.
But you agree. You did agree that from 8:05 to 8:17, it's my time in the shower.
You know what? Agreements and rules are meant to be broken, Jolly. You know, I feel like just standing here today.
Tim, you do realize that we agreed, and I hold things sacred. I mean, I hold things in agreement. And I know this is your apartment, but you know, you told me that.
You know what? I feel like having a shower now.
Oh, okay. That's so unfair. Oh, fine. If you're going to have a shower now, I'm going to take the breakfast nook from on your time. That's 8:23 to 8:27. No.
Not the breakfast, Jolly. You know, you can screw with anything else, but not my breakfast.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will screw with your breakfast. In fact, I'm going to screw on it right.
Damn you. Did you eat the apple pie? You did. Johnny, how could you? They warned me about you, Jolly, but I didn't listen to them because I thought we were friends and we were connecting. And you go ahead and you eat my apple pie and
I finished it because you took my time in the shower.
what would happen if you don't take a shower for one damn day? It's not as if you have work to go to.
I won't be Irish Spring fresh.
Oh my God, all the advertisements that you are influenced by, you need to stop seeing that channel.
What?
The late night, the TV shopping channel.
Oh, and you have to start using, gee, your hair smells terrific.
Okay, you know what? Tell me now. Did the apple pie taste good? Because I added some of my grandma's secret recipe ingredients and I just wanted.
Look, the apple pie was fabulous. Okay, the apple pie was fabulous, and
Yes.
and I know that you've been working so hard on your apple pie that I saved you 1/8 of a pie.
Give it to me. I'm ready to eat it right here in the bathroom.
No, you're not going to eat in the bathroom. You're going to eat it outside of the bathroom. So,
Okay. Don't you try to dare come in.
here's the pie. Follow
Here we
it out. You have to follow it out of the room.
Okay, now I'm here. Okay.
Okay.
Don't bear your. This is kiddish. Hey, open up. Oh, damn, you ate my pie and now you're going to shower as well.
Hey, I still have 5 minutes for the shower.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, it's okay. I'll get back at you one day.
Hey, Tim. Tim.
Yeah, Jolly. Good.
Is that my new shirt?
Oh, yeah, it looks like it's yours. I just found it, there in that cupboard, and that just.
Yeah, you found it wrapped in plastic. Oh, is this for the bathroom thing? I mean, that was 5 days ago, man.
What bathroom thing? I don't remember anything.
Okay.
Fits well, doesn't it?
Okay.
Not my grandmom's urn. That's not right.
No, never. No. I would never do anything to your grandma. I mean, I'm just going to move it here.
No, I thought you were gonna get me this time.
No. I won't go there, man. You know me. We have an agreement. I can be, I can be heartless about time and schedules and stuff like that. But relatives are relatives, and
Yeah.
it's this that I'm interested in.
Oh no. My secret candy bars is what you got it. How did you know the place?
Dude, you go out of your room at 2 a.m. to sneak a candy bar out of it. And you have the wrappers in the trash, and you leave crumbs, and
You are a spy, aren't you? You
No,
are
you're
a damn spy.
you're just a noisy creeper. You creep noisily.
Okay, this is it. I'm going to now buy a new lock and lock my room up because you're just nosy.
What if there's a fire and I'm not able to open your door? I mean, we're roommates. We look out for each other. We're that good. As
Well,
friends.
obviously, you look at all my things and my secret candy bars.
And somebody wears my shirt.
Yeah. So
Now I don't.
this color is good. It looked good on me. It looks better on me than you.
Well, that's true. Okay. That means that I don't have. So I don't have to give this to you for your birthday?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
This is so insightful. How did No.
I want you to be happy.
Oh my God. There was only just one of this in the entire world, Jolly, and you got that? For me?
What are friends for?
Wow. You know, this recipe book has one recipe from my grandmother, and I was never able to find it.
And while you're looking through the recipe book, I'll take a shower.
You can. This is good enough, man. Just go. Wow. Grandmom. Oh, wow. Tomatoes. Ooh.
Oh my God, how wholesome, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. If those were my brothers and they ate my apple pie, I'd be beating them up. But these two roommates, they're too wholesome. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Siddharth and Jay. Yes. Amazing. We are now moving on to our next couple to be on screen. We're spinning the wheel. We are spinning, and we have Patrick. Patrick, please come on down. And another spin. We have Shweta. We have Shweta and Patrick. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving on. Again, the prompt was, what's a reason to go back home? And I have chosen, because I remembered apple pie, I remembered free food. Free food. Do a roulette with Patrick and Shweta.
Johnny, what do you have to say for yourself? Speak up. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Is that the tone you take, young man? Are you really sorry? You stole Patrick's bicycle last week. Yeah. And then you stole Auntie Helen's peanut brittle candy, which she was saving for her son from her home yesterday. And today, Johnny, you broke my heart. You broke your mother's heart.
Mom, does that mean you went to the basement because you saw all those things that I hid?
Well, somebody had to clean it. You told me not to go down to the basement. I respect it. You're a teenager. I can understand. I mean, I've read all the parenting books, but I had to clean it. Everything else, every other room in this house is spick and span. Only that basement. The smell from the I had to go down and I saw. Johnny, I saw all that you had kept.
Okay, I'm really sorry, Mom.
You don't cry. When you cry, I cry. I'm not mad. Well, I am mad, but I'm not. I want to understand, Johnny. Do I not provide enough that you have to steal from the neighborhood? Oh, the shame.
I can't help it, Mom. I mean, I see Patrick being cruel to the dog, and I said I have to do something to punish him for it. So I said I hide his bite for a while.
And what about Auntie Helen? Why did you take her peanut brittle?
You really want to know, Mom? She was saying bad things about you. I can't stand that. She was saying bad things about you. About how you're a bad parent, how Dad left you, and that's why you're left with me.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay, I will deal with Auntie Helen, but okay. That still does not explain the McDonald's balloon. I took you to McDonald's last month. You saw the balloon. They were hanging in front of that.
Yeah. I took a picture there.
Johnny, I found that balloon in the basement. Did you steal the McDonald's? But you stole from an establishment. How do you explain that?
I got mad at them because their McFlurry machine was broken. So I thought they had to be punished too. I'm really sorry, Mom.
Well, Johnny, well, I'm glad you're being honest with me. I mean, I feel a lot of things right now, but I'm glad that you're being honest. Yeah, always be honest with me.
I promise,
Okay.
Mom. Tonight, I'll be just like my heroes, the Avengers. I'll go back, sneak up in the night, and I'll return all the things. I promise, Mom.
Well, I didn't intend that lesson, but if you're going to do that, you know what? Let's do it together. Let's sneak up and give back those things together, because I don't want you to get caught giving back the things that you stole. And then we'll talk about your punishment, young man.
Okay, Mom.
Cut to later that night. Well, that's I think all of the items. This is a heavy bag, Johnny. This is wow. It's a lot. Just
Well, my room is empty now. What the heck?
yes, it is. And you don't have TV privileges or computer privileges for a week, young man. Yeah, you have to have. But let's focus on this adventure we are going to have now. Okay, so this is all. Is there anything under your bed that you haven't given?
There's this magazine there, but I don't think you need to look at that. I mean, I paid for that. Promise, I paid for that. It's not something I stole, but you don't have to look at that anymore. I'm a growing boy. That's all I can say.
All right. I realize I haven't
The
had
receipt
that
is there.
talk.
The receipt is there. I use the receipt as a bookmark.
Okay, yes. Let's talk about it some other time when I'm prepared. I need to read a few more books on that topic.
Okay.
But let's you know what? We will give back Auntie Helen's brittle. I might leave her a note while I'm there because we will give back Patrick's bike. Yes. Yeah. We will give back the balloon. Yeah. and we will give back the clown outfit that you stole from that show that we went to. Why? What was that? I'm just so curious. Why clown?
That's different. That wasn't punishment. I want to be a clown someday, Mom. I want to go to clown college.
I always wanted you to be a doctor or an engineer. I mean, I thought you liked it as well. I mean, you never told us anything.
Well,
I mean, even when your dad was here.
One of the movies I watched was Patch Adams, you know, with Robin Williams. And he was a doctor and he was a clown.
Well, as long as you're a doctor, you can be a clown.
But can I be a clown first? Can I go to clown college before I go to medical school?
Well, the book that I read recently told me that it's a changing world and kids nowadays do all sorts of things. So I guess that's okay. We'll talk about it when we come back, yeah? So later that night, after returning the items.
I like doing that with you, Mom. I mean, I felt like we were the Avengers. I was like Hawkeye and you were like Black Widow.
Yes, I was, wasn't I?
Yeah. I didn't know you could climb up that fence so high.
Well, I had to try something that Auntie Helen was there in the house. I thought she would be out playing, her bingo night. Oh man, this was such a rush. Johnny, it was such an adventure with you. Yeah, this is quality time. We should spend more quality time. Not doing this, not stealing and not giving back.
Promise. I love what we did tonight, Mom, but it doesn't mean that I need to steal more things so that we can return them together. I mean, we can do some other Avengers-like stuff together.
Maybe I can take that clowning workshop with you.
Really, Mom? Mom, they have this teaser class. It's online. You want to take that with me?
I don't know what it is, but yes, let me do this. I mean, wow, you're such an adventure, Johnny. I didn't know that about my own son. Let's do it.
Really, Mom? I mean, I'm not. I mean, I can tell I'm not like you, but does that mean I'm also not like Dad?
You are your own you, Johnny. You're the best of both of us. I really love you. You're fun.
I love you too.
Now about those magazines, Johnny.
Okay. Actually, just one magazine, because I can afford just one, so I just bought one.
Johnny.
Mommy.
Okay, that's the end of Johnny and Mommy. Oh my God, Johnny, you naughty boy, stealing from Auntie Helen. Auntie Helen was giving us great advice last night. Oh my gosh. Very disappointed in you, Johnny, but at least your mom has your back. Thank you once again to Patrick and Shwell. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing job. We are now moving on to our next duo. Let us spin the wheel of multiple colors. And we have Eric. Eric, come on down. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. They're letting me sing until they spin the wheel. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we're spinning again between Rudra and Hong. And we are getting Rudra. So Eric and Rudra, on stage, please open your cameras and say hello to everyone. I am choosing a prompt. Again, what's a reason to go back home? And I am choosing to visit the dogs. To visit the dogs. To visit the dogs. Do a roulette with Eric and Rudra. Start.
Patrick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to see how changed you look.
I see.
Don't.
Right, it's been a long time actually. How are you?
Sam, I'm fine. Thanks. Thanks for asking.
Oh, that's good. I'm doing good as well. But yeah, I'm glad to see you again. Did you see the new dogs?
Oh, yeah. They're nice. You're doing good. Okay.
Right. You seem a little bit apprehensive. Is something wrong? It's about me? About the dogs?
No. It's nothing like that. The dogs are nice. Tell me more about those dogs.
Right. So one's over there. One's a Chihuahua. It's a brown and it's quite young actually, and she's a bit feisty. But to me she's just the best.
Feisty.
Yes, feisty. She likes to bark and sometimes go make some demonic sounds actually.
Yep. That's exactly what I was worried about. Like,
oh, I actually hear her. Oh my God, Gabby, hi. Oh, calm down. She's okay. She's not gonna bite.
You know, I had a bad dream last night.
Oh?
That Angela, whom we both dearly loved.
Right. I remember that.
Really, God bless her soul.
Yeah, she was a good person.
Was reborn.
Uh-huh.
What did you say this Chihuahua's name is?
Gabby. It's Gabby. Oh, she's coming in. Oh my God. Hi. Oh, okay. Gabby, calm down. Patrick over here is our friend. See, she likes you. She's licking you.
They always do the first. Yeah, that's how they trap you. No, don't come close.
Oh, relax. These dogs don't have brains. They don't have ideas of trapping us. They're not as intellectual as us.
Sam, how are you so sure?
Patrick, they're dogs.
You seem to know more about dogs. No. Are you a dog expert?
I'm no dog expert, but they're just dogs.
Are you?
They don't have the intellectual capacity that we human beings have.
They don't?
No, they don't. Their just instinct is to bark and bounce. Oh, Gabby, hi. They just go after anything they see. They get excited. Oh, Gabby, calm down, please.
Why is Gabby growling at me?
Okay, I guess it's she's not used to you. But don't worry, she'll be fine after a bit. She just needs some getting used to. Right. You just need to get her familiar with you. Let her know that you're her friend as well. Because if you're gonna fear the dog, then it's gonna fear you as well.
Sam, save me, Sam.
Patrick,
Will you save me?
Patrick, this has to work both ways for you and Gabby, so that both of you will be happy. If not, then both of you will be just fearing each other Gabby will just keep growling at you, and you'll keep just
Why
staying
do you-
afraid.
I don't understand. Why do you want Gabby to like me so much?
Gabby is the best dog I've ever had, and she loves me.
She loves you. Just take her away. I don't want Angela in my life.
Okay, I'll bring her. But I want her to love her too. That's why that's why I want Gabby to like you, because I know she has that same love for humans as well.
Our relationship is not based on some dog loving both of us together. Come on. Is it? Is it though?
I'm
Tell
sorry,
me.
Patrick. I just wish that my dog
Our
has
friends.
some friends.
We don't need to have same friends.
Yeah,
It's
I
okay.
guess you're right.
It's okay in life. Our relationship will survive without dogs being here to help us through it. Don't you think?
Right. I was just concerned, not only for Gabby because she doesn't really meet lots of people, but also for us. We've been staying away, and I just missed what we had before.
Yeah, thank you for tying Gabby to that chair.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. It's always about before, right? It's always with you. What about that we have now? I am seeing a different person in you, Sam.
Yeah, I just missed the past, and I should realize that we're growing people. We change, but sometimes I'm just so stubborn.
What's Gabby going to do now? She feels your sadness. Look at that. Look at that, how she's looking at me.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Look at that.
Oh no, I made Gabby cry. No, Gabby, I'm sorry. Please.
Crying.
Please.
It's my voice.
Oh.
Oh. Great.
Wait, let me put Gabby first, please. Let me put Gabby away, please, so she doesn't have to hear this.
Sam?
Yes, Patrick?
I think it's time to call spade a spade.
All right. Spade to spade. The animal shelter. I think it's important that we put Gabby somewhere more happy and not stressed out by the both of us.
Okay. Yeah. I love you.
Patrick, what's happening to you? You're becoming a dog. Oh my God. You're becoming like Gabby. Wait a minute. I'm becoming a dog too. Oh no! I love it.
I guess sit. Oh, okay. Good boys. What an ending! What an ending from a truly heartfelt, emotional scene to Both of them becoming dogs, ladies and gentlemen. They really took it to heart. Welcome again to Eric and Rudra. What an amazing scene, ladies and gentlemen. Please give them a round of applause. Amazing. I have nothing much to say. So we're going on to our next roulette. Ladies and gentlemen, spinning that wheel. And we have a double A person. And let's spin the next wheel. I wonder who it's gonna be. Oh my God, it's Han, ladies and gentlemen. Han will be AA's partner for the next Duo Roulette. And again, our prompt earlier was, what's a reason to go back home? And I love this very, very emotional reason, because you have to get out of your head when you're thinking about it. But it's, I forgot my shoes before leaving. Ladies and gentlemen, Duo Roulette with AA and Han.
Love, did you see my shoe? Like, I lost the other one.
Yeah, I saw you put under the closet right there, sis. You're talking about the black high heel shoes that you always wear when you go out, right?
Yeah. It's not there.
Okay. I'll help you look. It's all right, sis. It's okay. I'll help you look.
Okay.
I know it's a very important date you're going to. Wait, just relax. Oh, look here they are. There.
Why is it in your bedroom?
Okay, sis, I know this is the wrong time. I guess we have to talk. I wore your shoes last night. I didn't ask, and I there was this drag show competition in our city, and I never told you this. I'm sorry.
You could have told me. I could have gone with you.
Really? You would?
Of course. I knew it since you were 10.
Of course. I don't know why I just kept this from you, from our mom and dad, and I'm so scared. I didn't want to lose you, I guess. You've always been the only one I could talk to.
But did you know that mom and dad knew as well? We were just waiting for you.
What? No.
Yeah.
You all know about this?
Yeah, but we wanted to give you time and space to be able to tell it us.
I feel so silly. Okay, you guys are sis. How? Come on now. I was so scared, for so long.
Maybe you just needed to learn how to trust us. For your family.
Well, you guys are always talking about going to the church, and then you guys always talk about like wanting to have a son that will, get married, and I just never thought this could be so. I don't know. It was just, and sis, sometimes I felt that you didn't want to know about me.
Of course I did. I just didn't want to pressure you. And people change, right? Maybe at the start we're kind of shocked about it, but of course you're my brother. You're our family. Like, no matter what happened, we'll accept you for who you are.
Thank you. I do have another thing I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing someone too.
Teeny?
A man.
Are you going to introduce him to us? Can we meet him?
I would like to. Here's the thing. He's not from here. He's from another culture.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Colombia, and his
he must be really
parents
hot though,
are
right? I'm sure. You know what? Let's plan this. Let's have dinner in on a week.
And he's 55.
And so what? Age doesn't matter.
And he
Nothing
has a
matters.
son the same age as
Okay,
me.
there's so many. Is there anything else?
I know. It's so hard for me to tell you about this. I mean, but I do love him. I do love him. He's older. He's much older than me. He's older than our parents, but I love him. And he accepts me as who I am. Since many years ago when I left home, I really didn't feel that you guys would accept this. That was the reason why I left home. You've always been our parents' favorite, It's so hard for me sometimes. I mean, everyone's like, look at your sister Angeline. She's doing so well and studying to be a doctor. And
I was just really trying hard because I know you're really better at me and so many things. Whatever you do, you do it great. Even if you think that you are not doing well, you are. That's why I was trying so hard. I gave all my energy to everything that I do just to prove to our parents that I'm good as well.
I know, and I love you, sis. I don't see you as a competitor. You are my sister, and I'm happy I'm back. I'm happy you're in my life again.
I am too. And I'm so glad you decided to come back home. Please don't leave again.
Yeah.
Promise?
Promise.
Because sis, you need to teach me how to do that drag thing so next time I can go with you. Teach me how to dress up. Teach me how to be beautiful like you.
Yeah. You so love. I can do makeup so well. I mean, I would love to give you a makeover.
I would love that. I'm so looking forward to it.
Well, go out there and go get your date. You'll be late. Here are your shoes.
Thank you.
You're beautiful and good luck. Have fun.
See you later. I love you.
See you later.
Bye,
Love you too.
sis.
Oh man, I can't. I don't want to enter, but I have to enter. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. What another wholesome conversation we have between AA and Han. Oh my God. Mind blown again, ladies and gentlemen. That kind of sibling relationship that you encounter with your siblings, just, and I never had it because I'm with brothers. So thank you again. Let's give it up for AA and Han. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are now moving on to our last duo, Roulette, who I am sure don't know each other. We have Kim and maybe who else could there be? And it's only Sammy left. Kim and Sammy, two people who have 0% knowledge of each other. Yes. I am not gonna hype them at all because they are not from TWE. They are not from AS class. Okay. And I'm going to challenge them a little bit. Again, our prompt is, what's a reason to go back home? And let's make this a little bit meta. The answer that I've chosen is to replay improvisation. To replay improvisation. Ladies and gentlemen, Duo Roulette featuring Sammy and Kim.
Bunny.
Bunny.
Carrot. Carrot.
Carrot. Oh my God, I can't. It's been 5 years since I was last back in Manila, and
was it 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years. I mean, I remember when we went to our first improv class. I didn't even know anyone then, and now we're, even though we're on our different paths, we're all coming back to perform again.
The group misses you. The group misses you. You were Miss Improv. Everyone looked up to you from the group. It's so good to see you again. Really.
I didn't know that.
No, I just made that up. Nobody wants to see you.
Thanks.
No, really.
Thanks.
Really. So good to see you again. I just love it. So how's the scene in San Francisco?
San Fran is crazy. I mean, I've never felt this free in my entire life. Sorry, enough about me. I mean, I don't want to keep on talking about myself. I used to do that all the time. How about you? I never really got to ask. I mean, I never really got to catch up. How are you?
Well, we're starting a splinter group of the original cast, and we're going around doing online classes. It's in its infancy stage. It's just me teaching myself how to do improv all over again. I look in front of a mirror, and then I try to. It's a new discipline. It's
self-actualization through self-improv.
Yes. 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 I've been working on it for 2 years now, and I think it's gaining traction. I think I appreciate myself more.
Hey, that's amazing. I'm proud of you. And I know you've been talking about this for so long, and I do admit, like when you came up to me after class that one time, I was just really annoyed because I just wanted to go home. But hey, you're taking steps to your dream. I'm honestly jealous.
Yes, I am taking steps to a nightmare. I'm broke. I haven't been paying the bills for my internet service because I don't have students, and it's hard, it's hard.
Don't tell me, like after that one night where we bonded drinking, you said that you were living with like you had your condo and everything, and now you're like, where are you now? Are you living with your parents again?
Well, what did you expect from me? You're going abroad to some thing close to Broadway or whatever improv international thing, and I just wanted to try this fantasy that maybe I could have the same break as you had. So I made things up, and things aren't just working out, but it is what it is.
No, really. Because I remember you did say that we wanted to go together to San Francisco, but that fight just before class ended kind of just.
Yeah, it was ugly, wasn't it?
Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm not going to ask if it was me or not. I'm just gonna say that I'm sorry.
It was you. Yes, it was you.
Okay, then I'm sorry.
You were hard on me. You promised that we'd go together as BFFs, and you just left me. And you didn't even ask me if I was interested to, go on an adventure in San Francisco. And no, you didn't. You just said, I'm so happy. I'm finally going to see improv in San Francisco. And it was you, yes.
And I apologize. And I have something to tell you as well. I find it funny that we were both just like, I wouldn't say admiring, but then I wouldn't say jealous either. Just that intersection of that, I guess. Because you would call me Miss Improv, but then on your end, like I admired the tenacity that you had. And me, I have anger. I kind of have anger issues. So I just legit ran away from everything. And I didn't realize how much it hurt you. I'm sorry.
You really thought I was good?
Yeah. I mean, you're one of the people who... Fine. Yes, you are. Magaling ka na. Okay. Yes. Okay.
And the other ear. Some more. Thank you for saying that.
Don't make me change my mind. Don't make me change my mind.
I missed you. How's Henry?
Henry?
Yeah. Henry. The guy is gonna sponsor you there. You said you had a place to stay and you were kicking it off with Henry. So he's cute though.
He is, but then the thing is,
does he still have hair?
No.
Seems to be. No more. Oh, okay.
Actually, that's why I'm coming home.
Because of his hair?
That's 15% of the reason. No, but really though, it just wasn't working out. We just didn't communicate well. And even though he was sponsoring me, I'm tired, of just trying to rely on other people and not believing in myself. So, hey, that's why I'm coming home. To perform with everyone again. Back to my roots.
Well, you've got people believing in you here. And that includes me.
Wow, and a while ago, I thought you were just going to be all, what? She's going to get mad at me again. But thank you for reaching out. That was really nice of you. And
well, nobody's as animated as you are here in the group. We were the top girls, weren't we?
Yes, we are. Anyway, I have to leave for the airport in a little bit. So I'll
Where
see
are
you
you
back
going
home.
again?
I'm going back home. Hello. My flight's in 5 hours.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. And then welcome to the Improvisation Festival.
Welcome. Nice to see everyone.
We are back. We are back in Improvisation Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Kim and Sammy from the Third World Improv class. Ano ang class niya? What is your class?
Sindicato!
Sindicato, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally done with Duo Roulette. We are not yet done with the festival, okay? There's still a day tomorrow, but there are still more groups to follow. But before that, can I just have everyone with Duo Roulette to stand up, show yourselves on screen, and give a bow, because that was amazing, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have, ended a Duo Roulette, and you killed it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Give them again a round of applause. Thank you. We are moving on to the next performer block. Okay, thank you for joining us. We are going to a block that has very exciting features. It has 4 teams from 4 countries exploring what Eastern improv really is. So go to live.improvisationfestival.com or hit the refresh button on this page, okay? And remember, you can check out the workshops and everything else at improvisationfestival.com. Maybe buy the pod team coffee at ko-fi.com/improvisationfestival, okay? I am now handing you off to the next block. Look for Miss Erin. Thank you.